Oh, bro, Malaka, I haven't done the morning show in a week. You know what? Restart. We're restarting. We're restarting. We're restarting. I'm very upset. We're restarting.
You fucked up, haven't you?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the morning show. I forgot to press the unmute button.
Let's just hope that Pantelis isn't watching this shit.
Yeah, let's hope he doesn't watch it because he's gonna fucking kill me. So as I was saying, welcome to the morning show, people. Thank you for understanding for the 1 week hiatus. We had shit to do, and but you guys got to see George adjusting the camera and everything.
Yeah, exactly. Let's play it off on that.
Yeah, he's got the Just Us Dads podcast and the Backstage podcast. Just As Dads, it's about fathers. They get together, talk about mothers, and then Backstage podcast, he interviews special individuals, special needs individuals. PhilipBalabanos.com for all the Phil stuff. Patreon.com/Pantelis for all of Pantelis and I's stuff. That's about it. George, what do you have for news this week? We've taken a 1 week hiatus. So
Yeah, sorry about that, man. I was busy last week. I didn't know that you guys were gonna take off. I hope it wasn't caused because of everything that I had to do. I had to have new tenants moving into the condo this week, and we had to prepare it last week, and I was all over the place. And so yeah, I was gone all week. Sorry about that, folks. I know that you're all very loyal to the show, and that you were probably looking into to tune in because there's a lot of stuff that happened over the last couple of weeks. I was hoping that you guys were going to cover them, but finally you decided not to host the show. But there's a lot of news coming out your side too, right? Over there?
Sorry?
There's a lot of news coming out from your side over there as well with respect to the Just for Laughs. I know the Pantelis.
Yes.
Exciting stuff. I don't know if he's going to talk about that later, but really, really exciting stuff happening. A lot of news, man. A lot of stuff happening these last couple weeks.
No, a lot of stuff, a lot of big things, man. You know, big things.
Are you excited, man? Like,
I'm very
first
excited.
First of all, we seem to be moving into some sort of normalcy again, which is a good thing.
Yes.
Yeah, well, even though it's not official, like I don't know if you saw the Canadians games, I keep laughing every time they show that scene where there's tables at the restaurant and they're all distanced, and right behind the barrier, it's freaking chaos, like thousands of people. I don't understand the logic of that.
What barrier?
What?
What barrier?
You know the Canadians games, you see, like they show it all the time on camera. They have the people sitting at the restaurant watching the game, so they're on tables, but the tables are all distanced, like they're like 2 meters apart, and it's like all spaced out. And then there's like a cordon, like it's like the section is closed off, and in the back, people are in the street watching the same game on the giant screens, and it's like thousands of people. It's just you haven't seen that picture? It's been circulating all over the place.
No,
Like,
I haven't seen it.
You see the people eat. You see the people sitting down watching the game, and they're sitting on tables, and it's all like distanced, and like everything is respecting the whatever laws are in place. And then right behind the restaurant, as soon as the restaurant, the limitation of the restaurant ends, there's a barrier, and then there's thousands of people, and they keep showing that picture, which makes absolutely no sense.
Yeah, no, I didn't see that picture. But what restaurant are you talking about, bro? Because when I was downtown, there was a sports bar that was packed. There was no spacing of table. There was nothing done, bro. The terrace was...
That's the one that's right next to the Bell Center. I think it's the Madison. I think it's called the Madison. So they have a terrace, so people are sitting outside watching the game, and it's amazing to see that picture. Everyone is like distanced. The tables are all set apart, but right behind the gate, like there's a gate there, and it's just the most contrasting picture that you will see.
Bro, Corona's done. Did you not hear? The Canadians beat it. They swept it in game 2. Corona is finished. Rumors of my death have been greatly exaggerated, and I'm going to stop all the hockey talk because it's ridiculous, George.
What's going on, Phil?
What's happening?
Phil has just joined us. How's it going? You've been very, very busy as well.
Bro, what is happening with your lighting?
I told Poseidon in the beginning, someone removed I had put pillows on my window to block the light.
Oh, that's the sunlight.
And someone just removed it, so I had to close my my lights, or else my face was blown out. So that's it.
So you're saying your face got blown because you had pillows and someone blew all over your face. All right. Yeah, I mean that's different, George. That's a weird way to start Wednesday morning, but yeah, I've been very busy. I've been moving. I heard you were being a landlord as well.
Yeah, I had to take care of some stuff.
Take care of business, George. It's very important.
How's it go? How's it living back at the?
I don't want to really talk about it, but since you twisted my arm, I will. The move was terrible.
Why was it terrible? What
Because I
happened?
lived at the end of a really long hallway. So moving shit out was a nightmare. It took 9 hours to move like a fucking 4.5 condo.
You didn't hire a company?
Of course I hired a company. It took them 9 hours.
Why?
Because they had to... Well, because remember, I don't know if you remember this, my management company hates me.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So they blocked the elevator. Like, we had it reserved, and they're like, nah, you've been going too long, so now figure it out. So we had to, like, take everything to the fucking lobby of the elevator, leave everything there, go back, call an elevator. It was a fucking nightmare.
Oh my
And now I live on the 3rd floor, and there's no elevator. So we had to bring everything up. My calves have never felt worse and looked better.
Nice.
And I'm back in the hood. I'm back in the hood, and I'm feeling nostalgic about all the... Like, I see all the little Filipino gangsters that used to be around the block. Now they're adults. They have kids and shit. And they're like, oh, Mr. Philip, you back? I'm like, yeah, what's up, Ronnie? And they're like, oh, I miss you. I'm like, I don't know who the fuck you are. I just call you Ronnie. I just guessed.
You just yelled some random name.
Yeah, I'm like Ronald. It looks like a Ronald.
Ronald Reagan, bro, was in the hood.
No, Ronald Santo Duval.
Or Ronald
something.
McDonald.
Maybe Ronald McDonald. But my biggest adjustment right now, and one of the reasons I'm late, I don't remember any of the old... Like, I've unlearned my shortcuts.
Really?
I keep accidentally going towards my condo to then go places. It's very confusing.
But it's not like you were living far away from.
No, it was like 2 kilometers.
Yeah.
But it's one thing to be on the south side of the train tracks, like in the hood, and it's another thing to be in the affluent side where I was in the Garden City. Like, you have access to the 40th from there, right? So now it's different. I'm just like, now I've been trying to figure out, like, I've been doing every day that I come here or go to like Park X for coffee. I'm like, okay, you're 16. How do you go? I'm like, all right, let me think. Maybe I remember, like, there's an alley that I used to take to get to Park X with no traffic, because fucking Côte des Neiges is a nightmare for traffic.
Yeah.
But I don't remember where it fucking was. And I think I found it, but I think they built a fucking condo in it. So, you know where Kruger is behind the Maxi there on Jean Talon? That big industrial area between Bates and like...
down there. Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
like there used to be all these little alleys there where you could get places, like if you needed to. Now they're all gone. They've been fucking gentrified.
It's been changing, man. The
I mean,
area
whole
has
area's
been transforming completely, man.
Park
I
X
passed
too.
by Park X the other day. I hadn't gone in like months, and there's new buildings. I'm like, when did these go up?
Oh, you're talking about Beaumont?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's nuts. Beaumont's fancy now.
Well, that was the plan back in the day. I remember this from back in 2007, 2008. There was a zoning proposition done to the city, to the borough, to transform Beaumont from an industrial
Yeah, I remember this.
zoning into more commercial / residential. So it's actually following a plan. I think it's much later than they initially thought it would take. But yeah, I remember because that's where I grew up, right? So Beaumont was a scary fucking street. We would never go.
The only thing that's
Beaumont.
still on Beaumont is the frame place, Revena.
There's that. And
That guy's
then
crazy.
There's that, and then there's the old the printing shop, K Litho. That's still there.
Litho's there. The bakery's gone. It's a fucking 10-story condo now.
That's the one I saw. The building went up. I'm like, when did this go up?
It's been going
so
up
yeah,
for a
the
while.
bakery's down. But then they have the power plant too. I don't think that's ever going to leave, right?
Where's the power plant?
It's right next to K Litho.
Is that what that? I never knew what that was. I thought it was part of the train
It's
yards.
power plants. I don't know what the hell it is.
maybe.
No. There's like all these. I don't know.
I don't. I'm not a Park Xer. I spent time here, but like I never really knew what things were. I don't know why I said here. We're not in Park X.
No.
What is it here, Poseidon? What is it called here?
Crackden, number 8.
Oh no, it's called. It's the Garment District. That's what this area is called.
Is that what it's called? Garment District?
It makes it sound
It's a
New York.
Huntsic. No, it's a Huntsic?
It's like a Huntsic or something. Huntsic Carcherville. I don't know. Fuck.
Do you guys remember that video of the Indian guy that made the video about like the orange cones and shit? And it's like, what the fuck is in a Huntsic?
Yeah, I remember
was
that.
funny.
That wasn't that funny. That was an MTL blog thing.
It was?
We don't speak positively of them here. You know that. You know the rules. He's not here, but you know the rules.
Okay, well, I didn't know he was part of MTL blog, but now that I found out, fuck him.
Maybe he was part of MTL blog. Parkex blog. George, are we doing news or are we just fucking running down memory lane?
Yeah, let's do some news.
I just mumbled the fuck out of that.
I haven't spoken to these people in about 2 weeks now, so there's a lot of stuff I have to go back to cover.
These people.
For sure. These people.
The colored folks? What are you talking about? What racist shit are you saying?
We'll be able to cover everything. Anyway,
all right, go.
First and foremost, let's talk about this new variant that's been out the last couple of days, maybe week. The Delta variant. It was first identified in India. According to certain experts, it's about 50% more transmissible than the original strain, and it's currently making up 90% of all new infections in the UK. As of yesterday, I think there have been more than over 4,000 cumulative cases of the Delta variant in Canada. Ontario is represents nearly half of those cases, and about 30% are in BC. So, I mean, again, I don't know what this is because they were saying that the previous one, what was the previous strain?
The UK variant.
Yeah, what was it called?
It was called the UK variant. We're only allowed to call them by their geographical places if it's a white majority place. Like Chinese variant, bad. Indian variant, not allowed. UK variant, no problem.
No problem, exactly. Yeah. So yeah, no, the previous one, everyone was talking bad about it. They're like, oh, it's going to be scary, and this and that. It's more transmissible. Not much happened, at least not here in Canada.
Yeah.
Now, experts say that this, could soon become the dominant strain of COVID-19 infections. But the advantage here in Canada is that we're doing very well with our vaccination. So having a larger proportion of our population that is vaccinated, along with other measures, assuming that they will keep these measures, it could potentially help Canada from entering another wave.
That's a silly thing to believe, George.
Hold on, where did you say it came from, George?
It was identified in India.
First identified in India, yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, look, I'm just telling you what's coming out there and what experts are believing. The question now is that with the daily average.
George can't hear it.
What is he saying?
Just keep going.
Kill it. He's fucking blasting Bollywood music.
I can't hear. I can't hear the stuff that he.
Shit.
So yeah. So the question now, with a daily average of approximately over 160 cases of this new variant per day in Canada, is the country at risk of heading into another wave? Again, going back to what we were saying, we thought we were at a high risk going into another fourth wave, or was it the third wave, back with the other variant.
I find that the third wave has been a little fruitier, more acidic, and it doesn't have that caramel flavoring at the end, in the back of the palate, like coffee.
Right.
George, hold on. Before you go on, do you remember 6 months ago, everyone was like, Australia beat Corona? They're opened up. This is what a world with no Corona.
I don't think they had beaten it. They were just very, very careful with their measures. Now, right, they're closing down Sydney, no?
Yeah, but you want to, can we just, let's mention the elephant in the room. They were saying they were doing great while it was winter for us, which means it was summer for them, right?
Right.
Now it's winter for them, and it's blowing up. What does that tell you? That for the next couple of seasons, this is our lives.
So you think heading into
I think coming into October, November,
come October, November, you think it's going to spike again?
Yeah.
I don't even know if the spikes are real, like in the
but
sense
don't forget also that back then, not many countries were vaccinated. Now this is the new.
I'm not saying the vaccines won't help. I'm just saying they're still going to keep opening us up and shutting us down, and opening us up and shutting us down. And I mean, look, now they're saying you can gather in people's homes with no masks if you're double vaccinated, right? I'm single vaccinated. Like I got my one vaccine. I don't know how long ago it was. It's been since March, I think.
Yeah.
As soon as they got rid of the curfew, I mean, the lockdown ended for me. I go wherever the fuck I want. I do whatever I want. I don't fucking lick people, and I wash my hands. I mean, that's it. That's literally it. So what are we doing?
Look, this is what the experts believe now, that we need to ramp up the proportion of the population who are fully vaccinated. And, we have to encourage those who haven't been vaccinated yet with their first dose to do so. So, I mean, they also believe that it is important to reach, these unvaccinated people because having this herd immunity rate as high as possible, it will give us possibly the best chances of curbing this new Delta variant. So, I
Is the
mean,
Delta variant more
comparatively,
dangerous? Is it more transmissible? Is it more deadly?
yes,
I
yeah,
haven't read any of
it's
those
apparently
things.
50% more transmissible than the previous variant, which I can't remember what the
Which
name
was
was.
like super fucking
Yeah, which
transmissible.
was the
Like,
scariest thing on the planet, apparently.
apparently. So this is way scarier than that.
Yeah.
Sounds like a
But
bunch of bullshit.
well, look, see, that's the thing. I mean, we didn't see. I mean, we did see that. What the fuck was it called? The last variant, man.
The UK variant.
Yeah, I don't know what
The triple
fuck,
mutation thing, that one.
Yeah, man.
They
Whatever
just
it was
like
called.
fucking scaring us. I don't mean like the powers that be. I mean media is like, oh, we're running out of fucking scary shit to talk about. World's going back to normal.
Like it was pretty well contained here in Quebec. Like I mean, it wasn't as bad as it was in Ontario, for example. The difference now, and even to your example with Australia, is that back then when they were saying that we beat it and we beat it, it's not that they beat it. It's that they're so secluded and they had taken such strict measures that they weren't getting too many travelers. Nobody was leaving, so that's how they were able to contain it. But at the same time, the vaccination process hadn't started either. So now, I mean, now when you switch it around because you're talking about the seasonal changes, the difference is that, I mean, Quebec is over 75% vaccinated. So technically, we're either in this herd immunity or very close to achieving it based on what experts have been telling us right from the very beginning. So come October, November, when we reach that seasonal thing that you're saying Australia is in right now,
that's when we'll really know if we did anything.
yeah, exactly. I mean, I'm not so sure that we're going to have that big of an impact, but then again, we'll see. I don't know. Who knows? Anyways, so that was it, man.
That was your 2 weeks worth of news.
Yeah, that's it. That's the only thing.
All right, guys. We'll see you next Friday.
See you on Friday. No, the other sad thing coming out in the last week or so is the over 700 unmarked graves that were discovered in Saskatchewan. This is the Cowessess First Nations. They said that they discovered the most significantly substantial unmarked or mass graves to date in Canada. Unfortunately,
is this another one? Sorry, I haven't seen it. I've been moving, guys.
Because we spoke about the ones in British Columbia. There were about 215 graves that were found. This was in Saskatchewan. Over 750 unmarked graves. I think it happened last week, I believe.
You entered
so this
on a high
was
note.
called. And I think this what I believe is going to happen is that this is because look, the first one was discovered in British Columbia a couple of weeks ago, and then almost immediately they discovered this one in Saskatchewan.
That
I don't think we're done, man. Well, see, that's the thing. Well, it's not suspicious. I mean, we know what's been going on. It's just
no,
now,
I don't mean that. I just mean
what's been going on.
That was in poor taste, but okay. I don't know. Like, we haven't found any for years. Now we find two.
I think we would find a lot. I think I remember it being an issue when I was growing up. Even do you remember Vancouver? There was this guy that was killing all these Native women, and they found the bodies. Like he kept hiding in places and shit like that. This has been happening for.
That was a serial
killer.
Yeah,
it's not a residential school, but I mean, the natives have been getting the short end of the stick for a while.
School,
what?
He used to run the residential school.
For sure.
He was retired. No, but I know we have a mass gravesite here in the old port. It's called Pointe-à-Callao Museum. Just a bunch of dead Native people. Like, we literally built on top of one of their cemeteries.
Yeah, I went once there.
Crazy.
It's all skeletons. It creeps me out that we look at skeletons.
It's a cool museum, though. It's like
you ever wonder that?
What museum? Sorry,
Pointe-à-Callao. It's you know what
you pass in front of it all the time when you go to the
old port. It's a really cool building right before Gibby's.
It looks nice.
It's like if you're on the La Commune there's like a fork on the road and it's like a triangular shape. It's right there.
Right before you enter the Peel Basin.
It looks clean and new. There's windows in the front of that, but it's just when you go in and they update it pretty frequently.
Yeah, and they have a very nice rooftop terrace because if you really want to celebrate the natives, have a fucking sangria downtown.
Yeah. I'm painting with all the colors of the wind, bro.
So anyway, I have a feeling that we're going to be seeing much more of this because it feels like they won't be covering up these things anymore. So this school called the Marival Indian Residential School, it was operated by obviously the Roman Catholic Church from 1899 all the way up 19. This is what freaks me out, man. It's until the 90s, man, like 1997. I thought this was over, like back in the 70s, 80s. This still operated in like mid to late 90s. I mean, it's horrible. Anyway, I mean, we still don't know if all the remains are linked to the school, but chances are that they are, kind of like they were.
My money's on they are, probably.
In BC. So, I mean, look, it was one of the more than, 130 compulsory boarding schools that was funded by the Canadian government. I mean, we all know the story. It was ran by religious authorities during the 19th and 20th centuries. The goal, obviously, was to assimilate the indigenous youth, completely delete everything they knew about their culture, their language, etc. I looked up some numbers just out of curiosity. There's an estimated 6,000 children that apparently have died while attending these schools.
That's way lower than I would have assumed. I'm not saying that's an insignificant number. I'm just saying I thought it would be in the tens of thousands.
Yeah, same here. But obviously, most of this were largely in part to the horrible health conditions that were inside these schools. They were very poorly built, poorly heated. Obviously, they were unsanitary.
They were internment camps.
Yeah, I do believe that. Yeah, there was also, in many cases, physical, sexual abuse in the hands of the school authorities.
I mean, so that's a given. It's the Roman Catholic Church.
Look, from what I read last month, the KWSS, the community began to use, ground penetrating radar to locate unmarked graves at the cemetery over there. So that announcement last week pretty much is the first phase of the search efforts. The people over there from the community, they believe that at some point these graves may have been marked, because the difference with BC is because BC was a mass grave. This isn't a mass grave. These were unmarked graves, but they believe at some point these graves were marked, and that the church, which pretty much oversaw the cemetery, may have removed them at some point to cover up what was happening. So obviously this is just a theory that is up there. So
what can we
again,
expect
we don't know
from your buddies in Parliament? Like, what can we expect from the Liberal Party right now? A lot of tears, like fake crocodile tears and apologies.
I mean, the Liberal Party has come out, obviously, since Justin Trudeau's election in 2015. He did the what was it called? The Truth and Reconciliation Act. This huge commission that sat down and presented recommendations. I'm not so sure which and how many of these recommendations have been considered or even applied. I know that, and we see that almost on a weekly basis. I mean, Justin Trudeau has apologized. He came out again last week, and he mentioned how atrocious this thing is about Canada's past governments and how they were in the wrong. He has apologized. The big pressure right now is on the Catholic Church, and just to attach it to this story, because I saw another article that mentioned that there's a bunch of Indigenous leaders here from Canada that are due to travel to the Vatican at the end of this year in December.
Oh, is it like a pilgrimage?
No, not really a pilgrimage. They're and this is actually coming from Vatican.
That's the plot
the pressure,
of the second Pocahontas movie.
This sounds like the Da Vinci Code 3. Yeah.
Well, there's mounting pressure now on the Catholic Church, and specifically
Mountain
the Pope.
Pressure is the name of the guy that's going to visit them.
Yeah. Da Vinci.
So they want the Pope to officially apologize. So
the Pope hasn't officially apologized for this shit. Like the Catholic Church hasn't officially.
Well, the liberals asked the Catholic Church to open up their archives, and the Catholic Church basically said, "Fucking stay in your lane."
Okay. Well, that I get. You don't want people in your business, but I thought, like, since we're all aware of what happened, I thought at the very minimum an apology was in order.
No, I think back in 2017, I read this somewhere. The Pope was somewhere in South America, and he kind of made reference to the atrocities that colonialism had on the indigenous populations, but there was never a formal apology.
Hard down there.
So you have all these indigenous leaders that will be visiting him in December. This actually is in collaboration with the Canadian Conference of Catholic Bishops. They've been trying to organize this with the Pope. So we have the Manitoba Metis Foundation. They are leading a delegation there. We know that it's already booked for end of December. There's also the There's also the Inuit community that is also involved in arranging a visit. So yeah, like the bishops basically said in a statement that the Pope wants to express his heartfelt closeness, address the impact of colonization on the role of the church in the residential system, in the residential school system. In the hopes of responding to the suffering of indigenous peoples and the ongoing effects that it's had on intergenerational trauma. Of course, they never mentioned whether or not the Pope is planning on apologizing, which is the main thing that these communities are looking for. To go back to your question about the politicians, there's Mark Miller, who is the Minister for Indigenous Services. He held a press conference and
Is he a native person?
No, I don't
Mark
think
Miller,
he is, no, but he's
not a Frank Miller. I'll tell you that much. Yeah.
He's a good guy. I had him on the car ride conversations during the campaign. He's a smart guy, and he's been taking a very a big role in this whole thing. He's very close to the communities as well. They respect him. He came out and he said that any act of healing requires an apology, and the Catholic Church has this obligation. He said that the people expect the Pope to deliver that apology in a full, complete, and a comprehensive manner. So yeah, he said
comes out, he's like, sorry.
But that's like unnecessary. Like, of course, it's gonna be comprehensive. He's not gonna be like, on the whole native situation.
Well,
Wait, what?
There's a play on words. There's all these things that you can say in a statement. It could be drafted by like 50 lawyers or something that will maybe seem like an apology, but you won't.
Or did they rape themselves? No, Pope. We raped them.
But were they
did
dressing
we?
sexy?
Like, hey, could you imagine if he pulls shit like that? And you're like, what are you, Larry David? What are you talking about? Just fucking admit it.
Is this Pope South American? Or was that
Yeah,
the
he's
last
from
Pope?
Argentina.
He's from Argentina, yeah? Okay,
Yeah.
so his ancestors like straight up fucked Montezuma. Cool.
I would like to say something. All of this for me is nonsense for one reason.
Tell us. So
They
great
not
one.
this is great tragedies,
Yes, of course.
embarrassments. I would like some apologies. However, if we're like, as if I'm the government, if we're not gonna actually do something for people now, people that are alive right now, people that are in reserves right now, that don't have proper health care, that it's shitty. If you're not gonna do anything for those people now, why don't you shut up with your apologies?
Yeah.
You want to make things right. You can never rewrite history. You can't go back in time. So at least try to do something right for the current and the future generation. Since they're not, I hate these fake apologies, because in 10, 15 years from now, the reserves are going to be in the same fucking place after this dweeb said, I cried and I apologized. I don't give a shit about your tears, bro. People have cried enough. Do something. That's what bugs me.
Yeah.
He's right. He's not wrong.
I'm not wrong.
Yeah.
I feel strongly about this.
I guess this is going to be the next, the next challenge going forward. I mean, are we going to just stick to just apologies, or are we going to see any concrete change being made?
That's what I want.
I'm going to guess the former.
Yeah, I don't know. Poseidon, get me off screen 2 seconds. I forgot to get water, so let me just.
Bring it to us.
He's
I mean,
gonna masturbate
look, I got
to
some
his
news.
own
I'll bring some. I don't even know if you guys talked about this, but I got news for you guys.
Oh yeah,
I got news for you
a lot
guys.
of nonsense.
Did you talk about the trans Korean?
A transsexual
No,
Korean
we
person?
You didn't talk about him?
But I saw it.
I found out this morning.
Oh, Ollie, what's his name?
Yeah, some British guy.
Yeah, he
He said, I
identified-
need you guys to respect that I identify as Korean and non-binary, all made-up stuff, non-binary and Korean.
I only
None
saw
of that
a
exists.
small clip of this.
And he and so he went and did surgery on his eyes,
Yeah.
and then all these Korean Asian people were like, are you fucking joking, bro? That's the equivalent of when I was in school and people would make fun of me to do this. They was like, what the fuck are you doing? And he's like,
I
you
mean,
can't,
I don't know about that.
you can't. That's what they said. I'm just saying what
I'm
they
just
said.
saying.
I'm not Asian.
Yeah.
I'm not going to comment on that. They said all that shit, and then he goes, just accept this is how it is. This is what I believe. This is how I feel.
Identify.
Yeah, identify, and it's mostly people on the crazy left that allow you to identify as tables normally that are taking offense to this,
Yeah.
which is hypocritical and hilarious. Then I say this is a slippery slope. People are like,
I
it's never
saw-
gonna happen.
I
go,
saw
"Ah."
Shapiro like a clip on Facebook going, this guy, his fucking stupid voice.
This guy's all brave. This guy's all brave. What are you doing,
I
Poseidon?
don't know about that. That was
gonging.
not, ill-timed. Ill-timed. He goes, this guy's about as Korean as Caitlyn Jenner is a woman. That's what he said.
He's not wrong. That's the same thing. But
I mean,
actually, Caitlyn Jenner's probably more of a woman.
I would
than-
actually, this guy's more Korean.
How? There's
Why?
nothing Korean about him.
And
Yeah.
exactly.
Caitlyn
That's
Jenner
the
has
point.
tits and a vagis.
And he has no eyelids now. Or
Yeah,
like the nose.
but that's
sticking
nothing to do with being Korean, right? Because you can have
I mean,
Koreans
I'm
that
just saying, Korean is a made-up construct.
Korean is
cul-
not a made-up
it's a
construct.
cultural- It's a cultural construct. It's a social construct. Whereas the sexes are not. There's genetics there.
Yeah, but there's genetics in Koreans too.
I mean, but how different is the genetics of a Korean person from what's the neighboring country to Korea? Like pick
North
one.
Korea.
Okay, bad example. North Korea, best Korea.
I don't know, Thailand, China.
Yeah, like really, like Greece and the south of Italy, or France and Spain. Like genetically, how much difference is there?
But you could tell that
Whereas
there's
a
different.
male and a female, there's a big genetic.
No, but you
difference.
could tell that there's differences. That's
There
why
are.
you
I'm
can
not
do
saying there
ancestry and
aren't.
stuff.
I'm not saying that there aren't. I'm just saying that's a much less DNA differentiation
Than a man and a
between
woman
man and
biologically.
Yeah, that's all I'm
I
saying.
get what you're saying.
Yeah.
They're both. I mean, either way. Here's the thing.
They're both silly.
But there's different things because like we know about what is it? It's body dysmorphia. Is that no? It's not body dysmorphia.
Gender dysphoria.
Gender dysphoria.
dysphoria. Yeah.
It's a real thing. There are.
Yeah.
It's a real thing. Like
It is.
there are people who live their whole lives and they're not comfortable. Like fuck, bro, I'm in the wrong body. It's a real thing. So there's no problem with acknowledging that and helping people live the best that they can. There's no problem. What I always had issue with was these type of people, bandwagoners, who go, fuck, I want to join. I want to
know
be
if
part of
he's
the
a
club. I
bandwagoner.
want to be part of the club. How do I do it? And then it's Korean. It's I identify as a paladin. I'm a horse. To me,
I've seen those people too.
to,
The
yeah,
horse people.
I've
Giraffe
seen the horse
pussy.
people, the giraffe person. I remember. So to me, these people, the way I see it, is insulting to people who their whole, which is a small percentage, but still people who their whole lives they didn't feel comfortable in their body, and they fucking come out and like, look, man, I got to figure out a way to feel comfortable. You understand? I'm a dude, but I've always been a woman, or vice versa. And then you have these fucking assholes like, I get what you mean, bro.
I'm Korean too.
I'm a paladin.
What's a
You
paladin?
don't get what I mean. You don't get what the fuck I mean.
What is a paladin?
Yeah.
Hold on. Have you seen the people that identify as dogs?
Yeah,
do it for money, though.
yeah, they do it for money. But I know, but I've seen the girl
pups.
that you're talking about
Yeah.
that
Yeah,
actually believes it. But again, they put that in the same boat, and then you're basically making everyone who has gender dysphoria seem like they're mental patients, and then this happens, the generalization.
Gender dysphoria, I'm pretty sure it's classified as a mental illness.
Yeah, but everything is like even the way we act, like whatever we have that borderline, whatever the fuck we are, Asperger's or whatever we have, we're all
Who has Asperger's? Who?
Asperger's.
Who has Asperger's?
Asperger's.
Yeah, Asperger's.
Elon Musk.
Elon Musk does have Asperger's. You don't.
Asperger's. He has Asperger's.
He doesn't have Asperger's.
He has Asperger's.
He doesn't.
He does.
He's actually
Poseidon,
way-
turn around.
I probably do.
Yeah.
Oh, bastard.
But no way. He.
You know what I mean?
He
Like
has
we,
something. but
we
not
all
Asperger's.
Right now, I'm about to because I gotta go.
He has trauma.
we
He
all
has
have.
childhood trauma.
I'm saying we all have our things, you know. So just when you jump on a bandwagon, and you because the whole I identify as Korean because I like them so much and all that shit, and I'm trans
That's crazy.
Korean and all that. You're ridiculing people who really.
I mean, look, you can feel Korean if you grew up your whole life in Korea and you're a white guy. You'd be like, I grew up here. This is my culture. I'm Korean. But
Yeah, that's
you're-
great.
You're a white
Dude,
guy, but you're Korean. Sure.
I'll tell you something right now.
Look at Giannis.
I love you, but Giannis is Greek because he grew up there. This and that.
That's
but
what
he's
I'm
not.
saying.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So I love Canada. I love Quebec. Okay, I love Quebec. I see a Canadian flag or Quebec flag. I get happy. Just like being Greek. Like I love this stuff because I'm here. I even like the U.S. When I see the United States of America flag.
They have a
I
good
feel-
flag, though,
I feel
I gotta
happy.
say.
Like there's stuff that but I'm never gonna be like to an American or Canadian. I feel you, bro. I too like they're the same as you're like make stuff up. Like I've just done a surgery, so now I too am Swahili. Like it's like, well, no, you're not. You could love it, you could appreciate it, but don't, like remember Rachel Dolezal? She took jobs from actual black people because they had to hire black people for the NCAA post, but they hired her. She was pretending to be black her whole life.
I thought she was kind of black.
No, she just
wasn't, like,
she
a
did
part
no,
black,
she did
no?
she did tanning salon thing.
I mean,
which
most
by the
of
way,
us-
I saw her documentary. I felt
it
bad for the
tanning
girl.
salon?
I actually felt I did. I felt bad for the woman because she honestly believed it. But what I'm saying is that's not the same as people who their whole life they've been a different gender and the way the way they were
this
born,
guy,
it was in the wrong body.
This Korean white guy. This is not the first case.
Yeah.
Just think of every wigger.
Yeah,
from
that's
the
what I'm saying.
90s, right?
But it's basically a wigger and people with gender dysphoria is not the
Are
same
we
thing.
allowed to say that?
Yeah, of course.
Oh, I'm just
but people with gender dysphoria is not the same thing. So the fact that you group it together, I feel you ridicule people who for real have a thing. That's how I feel.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm a pussy and I'm acting too. I don't
Do you
know.
identify as a pussy?
Left wing or PC woke, whatever the fuck.
I don't think
But
you
I
are.
feel bad when I see people basically piling on. Like
You know what you're doing? You're taking this as on a case by case.
That's
which
what I'm
is
doing.
the most logical
I'm
thing.
a case by case type of person.
Yeah, I like everything is different. Everyone is different. Every situation calls for a different.
That's how I feel.
That's a slippery slope, also, though, because if you have to change laws for individuals, then things get.
I don't
tricky.
want to change it.
I don't either, but I'm just saying,
I want to
just
have
reiterating.
laws that apply to every individual citizen. However, I want to treat every individual citizen like an individual citizen. You get what I'm saying?
I think we should all be masked as a group and numbered.
No, that's communism. I hate
Yeah.
that shit.
Yeah, I mean, 1984, bro. Since he's not here, he's making burgers from his ass.
Yeah. So there's that news, George. The
What
trans
other news you got?
the trans Korean kid that offended everyone, and then I saw some other
I
news.
thought you were talking about a pipeline. Did you hear about the trans Korean?
Yeah. Well, so people are mad at him, and I'm not mad at him, but I do get why people are pissed.
He needs to speak to someone.
Yeah.
Before he should have spoken to someone before he got his eyes a fucking.
He
adjusted.
spent like $200,000 on surgeries because he wanted to look like a Korean boy band person.
And he just looks like what's his name now? The famous designer.
He looks like a lizard, bro. What are you talking about?
No, come on.
So,
The guy with too much Botox and the lifts.
so here's the other thing.
What's his name?
The other thing I saw was there was a guy who got caught for raping people after he sent his ancestry DNA stuff.
Oh, I saw this.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he wanted to find out like what he was, and then they said, "Oh, a rapist."
yeah,
that's what you are.
Because once they got his samples, they matched it to CODIS.
Yeah. They matched it to him who raped people.
You know, that's the thing though with these ancestry things. If let's say you have a relative who is a rapist, okay?
Yeah.
And you go do it, they can catch him now because they'll figure out the relation. They'll see that there's a partial CODIS match.
Yeah.
They'll look into you. They'll be like, "It's not close enough. Let's look at this guy's known relative."
Oh, that's amazing.
So you can fuck over your like secret rapist
have
relatives.
have you guys done that?
No, mostly because I know it's nonsense. Like I know how they do it.
Really?
It's nonsense.
Yeah, I don't understand how they track these things.
They don't. It's fucking bullshit. I remember.
It's genetic markers, right, that people in general have in a specific area. The
Yeah.
hardest it is because people get mad that they don't get Canadian or American. But how could you, dickhead? Like it's a melting pot. Like normally, if you're here and
this
you
whole process was built for white people in North America to figure out where their ancestors came to before America. The rest of us more or less know. It's not going to tell me if one of my ancestors came from like a small town region in like the south of Greece or if another one came from the north. Like it's not that specific.
Right.
I'm going to get a circle over like Greece, Italy, Albania. They'll be like, you from here. Like
Yeah.
that's the general area.
Yeah.
The Albanians are similar
my
to us
first cousin
genetically.
did it though. My mom on my mom's side. That's
Yeah,
how I
you've
know.
spoken about it,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's literally just a needle right in the middle of Greece. It's like this is you, and like that's the heat wave. And I was like, yeah, I'm not surprised. Yeah.
That's so funny. But anyway, no. To go back to everything happening over in Saskatchewan, I don't know, and I want to know what you guys think about this because there's this whole movement now. Because tomorrow or after, tomorrow is Canada Day. So there's this
I
whole
thought that was
question
canceled.
now on whether to cancel Canada Day festivities.
That's stupid.
And it sparked this intense debate across the country, especially since.
If you're debating this, you're an imbecile. There's no debate. There's no, and you're not celebrating. Like, first of all, canceling Canada Day is a virtue signaling thing. How the fuck does not acknowledging that you live in Canada and that you're happy here and that Canada's a good country overall right now, how the fuck is that going to help the situation back then? Like a time machine. Like, so you honestly think, okay, I'm not going to celebrate Canada Day? Problem solved, right, natives? We're cool?
Well, look,
We're cool, right?
the truth is that these indigenous groups, the native communities, I mean, it's not on average, right? It's not like they it's not like they ever really celebrated Canada Day to begin with, right?
I'm
But
not
with
telling them
this-
to celebrate Canada Day. If you don't want to celebrate Canada, that's fine. I'm saying this whole movement of cancel Canada Day is absurd.
Yeah, I mean, look, their argument is let's take this opportunity to express the fact that
We're better than
celebrating
everyone.
Canada Day is also an insult to what they consider the history of Canada. But our version of this Canadian history is that we were annihilated for this country to kind of exist, right? So. Anyways, I mean, look, this is a huge thing happening across the country.
here's
There
what's
are some
stupid.
cities and some communities that have actually canceled the celebrations.
Okay, so but where does it end? Where does it end? By you canceling the celebration, how does that help rectify things, right? How does that help fix things? There's winners and losers in wars or whatever. How does that? We? What's the next step? Is it then
maybe
to
it's
break
not
up
about
Canada?
rectifying. Maybe it's about raising awareness and just.
But
using
raising
that
awareness of
day-
what is what I'm saying. Like, unless you're actually going to do something for the reserves, put money in there, all this other stuff is horseshit. It's fake. It's all fugazi. That's all it is.
That's a native word,
So
right?
Fugazi,
Yeah, it's-
fugazi.
It means he who lies much and it does homosexual acts.
Yeah, fugazi. So none of it's all meaningless. They're
is,
not doing
absolutely.
anything. It's all virtue signaling. That's what bothers me. It's all
I
fake.
keep seeing a bunch of people I know sharing this posts on Instagram. It's like, as the daughter or son of immigrants, I am canceling Canada Day. I was like,
As the daughter and son of immigrants, you shouldn't because they accepted you here. They have nothing to do with it.
the next slide in that post is, as immigrants, we've been taught to treat, based on colonialism and its lies, that we should be grateful. I was like, what the fuck is this?
What are you talking about? You should be grateful because you should be. If I invite someone to my house, okay, and I'm nice to them, they eat. Of course, they're going to be grateful. They can't then be like, I was conditioned to be grateful.
But wait, hold on. What if the person who invites you into their house, they feed you whatever, you find out in their basement they have slaves?
Yeah, I'm not cool with the slaves, if they, especially that currently. However, that
mean, that's
had
the
nothing to
analogy,
do with the
right?
steak.
What
Yeah.
if the steak was made by the slaves?
But it's not made by the slaves. Right now, the proper analogy would be, what if
Yeah.
you go, you have a nice dinner.
And they have bodies
and-
in the attic?
No, you find out that years ago, this guy was a slave owner.
I mean, I don't know how I'd feel about that.
Yeah, it'd be like, okay, maybe I don't like.
I
me-
had the steak now.
you know,
It was delicious, but fuck you.
You already know where I stand with slavery. I just the thought of human slavery is psychotic to me.
Yeah.
So obviously I'd be against that. It does not. It doesn't mean I gotta vomit out the steak. Wait, you ate the steak, bro. The steak had nothing to do with the slavery thing.
You didn't know at the time.
You didn't know at the time. Now you know. So you know that you're not for the slavery thing. But by being like, you know what, sir, I will regurgitate the steak. Therefore, slavery canceled. No, he still had the slaves.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. I can get behind that. I wouldn't vomit the steak either.
Yeah, but it's crazy the stuff that you saw from immigrants. I mean, you know, this to me was absurd. You know, back in the day when they had created the chapter of the Golden Dawn here in Canada by immigrants and children of immigrants, and it's like you
Yeah,
fucking
it was pretty
moron.
I don't know why
You're
you keep going
partying-
back to that, George. It seems pretty suspicious because, as far as I remember, they were doing a lot of community service.
Yeah, I don't
were.
think so.
Yeah,
But,
they were. They
no,
were.
they actually
Yeah,
were.
why you lie, George? Say the truth. Say the truth, George. Tell the truth.
They did a lot of good while they were in
Yeah,
existence.
they did a lot of good while they wore,
I
you
mean,
know,
they were a wing-
questionable clothes.
They were questionable
the
clothes.
fact
yeah.
of the matter is that they're supporting here in Canada a party which in Greece rejects immigrants. They hate homosexual. You know what I mean? So it's like, and it's a bunch of immigrants that created over here, and that to me made no sense. It's like, dude, you're an immigrant.
They
Like,
may be immigrants, but they ain't gay.
it's like
We don't know.
You know, if you
Wait,
immigrated
did
to
they have
Greece-
something against gay people too?
The Golden Dawn?
Yeah.
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 No.
Yeah, of course. Which is kind of hilarious because they
That's it.
celebrated ancient Greek culture.
No immigrants and no gays. What
No
about gay
gypsies.
immigrants? That's the worst. That's the pinnacle.
And especially if they're gay Jewish immigrants, forget it.
With a gypsy girlfriend. Jesus.
You're running the entertainment industry and you dance at night. This is unacceptable.
Oh man. But
mean,
no,
yeah.
somebody mentioned in the comments about the 21st of June being the national holiday, the national day for Aboriginals, and it's funny because it brings up this article I read about this community asking the provincial government to have a statutory holiday for I think it was for this specific day. For the
Anytime
national-
someone says statutory, Poseidon's butt cheeks clench.
For keep the burgers in.
What does statutory mean?
It's okay.
Never mind.
It's like the journée fériée. It's like a holiday, like a.
I mean, if Quebec gets Saint Jean, I mean, the native cultures should have.
I think
something.
look to
Give
be
him a
honest,
day.
look
Well, because
jokes aside,
look, Premier Legault refused, and again he came under fire.
We don't have.
He's
the
like,
systemic,
we don't need another
racism.
statutory holiday in Quebec. We have enough.
hey, we have a lot of holiday, and let's be honest,
but
who won the war?
But it's going back.
We
to what,
won.
Yeah, he starts going crazy.
Back to what Pantelis is saying, that everyone is just using what's happening now as, as a motive to just.
Virtue signal.
Yeah. I mean, so
My virtue is greater than yours.
Nay, sir, my virtue is greater than yours.
None of you are doing a goddamn
No,
thing.
nothing. Absolutely nothing.
But I do agree, by the way, we did not learn. We should be, like, look, it's part of, as far as I'm concerned, maybe other people who lived here, maybe people who weren't the sons of immigrants or whatever, see Canada differently as, like, the natives aren't part of it. But as far as I'm concerned, in my head, like, the way I grew up, that's the history of Canada. Like, as far as I know, native culture, all that stuff. Like, I thought the reason why Pocahontas exists as a Disney story is because all that stuff is in the ethos of North America. I thought it's a well-known fact that it's part of the history.
I did too.
Like that's who we owe.
I mean,
like, you know how me, I'm Greek, and I think about the ancient Greece. I think about the Spartans. I think about Athenians, Macedonia, all that. I thought that that's the same for Canada when it comes to natives. That's the original
Not
people.
those fucking Thebans, huh?
Yeah, that's what. But that's what I thought it was. It's shocking to me now that people go like, "Oh yeah, the natives were part of it," or like they're not counted. Or I'm like, really, you guys don't count? I thought.
Think about almost every single fucking name of like a place in Canada.
Yeah, I thought it was. I thought it was a well-known
Canada.
thing. I'm surprised that people didn't acknowledge the natives. Yeah, I thought that was part of the rich. I thought that was what made it historical.
Look, for me, I did Canadian history in French in an English immersion high school, and we learned a lot about the fucking native culture. Like, we learned the names of the tribes that lived here, their histories, what happened to them, how long they were here.
I thought that's part of the history. I thought that should be
I
acknowledged.
learned about the Algonquin, the Ojibwe. That's the only ones I remember because I was bad at that class. But, I mean, it wasn't that they didn't teach us. And they taught us that basically the white people came and fucked them hard. Like, it wasn't a mystery.
People keep saying the white people this and that. And whoever the fuck, even if it ended up being
colonial European powers.
Yeah, because if it ended up being Africans, they still would have fucked them up. Like, it's
I'm
whoever
just saying,
got here
the colonizers.
first. Yeah.
The colonizers that came did them wrong. That's what I'm trying to say.
The colonizers.
I remember doing that in history class as well, but I
So
don't.
overused.
What'd you say, George?
I don't have any like vivid recollection of anything that you just mentioned. Maybe
I just
it's just
love-
me that
I
wasn't.
really-
You didn't.
That-
That's what I'm. That's,
good
but that's why I'm
class.
shocked. I'm saying, George, there's a lot of people that I speak to that are unaware of.
But you went to Stan. You went to a French lycée. It's very possible that you learned very different history.
You
than I
probably
did.
learned European history.
Yeah, we came
No,
and we
but
made
we-
it
we
better. We brought Jesus.
No, I remember we
From
touched upon
Mexico.
it. I remember specifically that it was in the curriculum. But and again, I'm not saying maybe it's me. Maybe I wasn't the one following or whatever.
Maybe.
But I'm not so sure how prominent that part was during whatever year it was that we studied it.
It was the 10th grade, I believe.
It is, but you, George, you do bring up a good point. It is because I'm all for it. I think it's interesting, and I'm all for putting that in history because it is Canadian history, so
Of
they should
course,
know.
yeah.
But guys, all this stuff is bullshit, unless proper money's put in, and we don't have reserves. Like you know what I mean? Like
None of that will happen until the way we're educated. Not us. We're old.
No,
enough
it's not
now,
even
but
educated because
it
even if
helps.
you're even if you're fully educated, we're not in positions to make those decisions. So even if the entire country is educated, like, oh fuck, man, that's part. You not only did they get fucked over,
But if everyone is educated, then the next generation of people who come into power will have that basis.
no, the next generation is gonna riot if
They're
the
gonna do
local
this.
hockey team loses. They don't care, bro. That's what I'm saying. Is people are very
TikToks.
quick to be on the tickety talk and social media, an angry comment, right? To drop an angry comment, but they don't give a fuck about actual change. That's why this, to me, George, is all lunacy because cancel Canada, do this and that. None of that is going to help the current people.
Do you guys even celebrate Canada Day or Saint Jean? Like I remember back when I was younger, maybe I did, but I haven't celebrated those
Define
holidays
celebrate.
in a long. Well, celebrate in the sense that, you know, get together, let's have some beers. Hey, happy Canada! Put up the Canadian flag. I don't know. Go watch the fireworks. I mean, take part in whatever celebrations.
I don't do that for anything. I don't even celebrate my birthday to that capacity. But during those days, I do tell people Happy Saint Jean or Happy Canada Day. I am happy on those days. I don't know if that counts.
Yeah, I think you're happy in most days. So I mean, it doesn't really. It doesn't
No,
really
but I
matter.
mean, like, I'm happy that it's Canada Day.
Like, I feel like I've celebrated more Saint Jean holidays than Canada days.
Yeah, 'cause we
I don't
live
know if
here.
That's normal. No, I know, but I mean, still.
Canada
you
Day
know.
here is moving day, bro. They don't take it seriously. That's why.
That's so true, man.
Yeah.
But Saint Jean, I've had quite a few parties, man, on Saint Jean. Like,
Yeah.
I love partying with Quebecers. Honestly, they're the best. They're
I have
the
been
funniest people.
adopted by Quebecers. Quebecers have adopted the French Cast is the official podcast of
Yeah,
Juste
yeah.
pour rire
Yeah,
this
let's,
summer.
let's go on those news, man. Like, because I know that you posted it. I mean, that's pretty impressive. You want to tell people what's up?
Yeah, well, there's press releases I think coming out today, and they have some other stuff to work on. I just got that's what I was on a Skype meeting. We had to talk about like details. Fuck, dude, the French is so cool, so like very warm, like welcoming. But so I have the French Cast is the official podcast of the French Festival. I'm gonna do maybe 15 episodes because it's gonna be like every day I'm gonna be doing episodes with different artists that are there. So a lot of my friends are performing, so I'm gonna bring them on.
Out of
Are
town
you going to
friends,
be
or-
located somewhere there, or they're going to come to the studio?
No. We're setting up a makeshift studio at the Just for Laughs offices downtown, so that we're
Oh, really?
nearby.
That's
Yeah.
Amazing.
So we
That's
record all
amazing.
those.
That makes sense.
It makes sense. It's easier for everyone.
I was
And-
panicked, by the way, when you told me that you got this. Obviously, I was excited for you. I was like, fuck, he's going to be bringing in big guests and I'm not going to be able to use the studio.
Oh yeah, no.
Especially after my turf war with the intellectuals yesterday.
Oh, dude, we'll talk about that in a second too. So we have that. Then I'm also doing stand-up in French. There's 15 minutes on the outdoor show, one of the outdoor stages, which is pretty fun. Yeah, they're really, really nice to me. I'm having a good time now on the French scene. They're very like welcoming.
I have to say, it's obviously your success is growing exponentially faster now that you've switched to French because we're in Quebec. But I also find that that's so sad because your English stuff is it's
way better.
It's solid. No, I wouldn't say that it's way better. They're on the same level.
Same jokes.
It's the same jokes, but en français, right?
Yeah.
And it's not even en français all the time. Sometimes you're kind of speaking English and
No,
French.
I speak French. It's just with my accent.
Yeah,
I don't like to switch to English. Yeah.
Fair. No. You're speaking French in English. Sorry.
No, I'm speaking Greek. I'm speaking Greek and French.
Yeah.
By the way, I have discovered something very cool.
Hold on, he's still talking.
Pourquoi tu fais comme ça, bro? Pourquoi? That's Greek and French, right?
Yeah.
I thought you had finished.
Look at George dying. I'm literally talking.
Yeah.
Anyways, go on, Poseidon.
No, I'm listening to Phil. I'm listening to Phil. Phil's talking about stand-up. He's got me hard. I like listening to stuff about stand-up. Go on.
How long is my arm?
Yeah.
No, but it's crazy how fast things changed. Because you were fucking doing a lot.
Yeah.
And it was going, for the most part, except from your fans, unnoticed.
Yeah, well, dude, here in the English scene, it's very hard to make it because you don't really get breaks on the English scene.
Pod break.
So only 2 drink minimum and Pantelis. But like, it's just a podcast that we're really...
Like, sometimes I want to do French stuff, but I don't think I could. Like, I couldn't do a full podcast in French. I wouldn't be able to stay in French. I don't see it happening. Like yesterday, I don't think I could keep a conversation going for 2 hours in French.
Oh, now I can, yeah.
Now you can.
Yeah.
I saw you struggle at the beginning a bit. It was weird.
Yeah,
it wasn't hard. It was weird for you.
Yeah, it was very weird for me because I understood everything, but I wasn't able to express quickly what I was thinking like I can in English
Yeah, it
or in
takes you a
Greek.
second. Like I watched him on
Couple Ouvert.
Couple Ouvert.
Yeah.
And like the difference between the two of you, I mean, obviously you're a stand-up comic. You're better on a microphone on the fly than Poseidon is. No offense, obviously. But I'm just saying.
Oh, he's not offended.
I'm not offended.
But like he would revert quickly to English to keep the flow and then come back to French. You would take a second.
Yeah.
I mean, he also does that in English where he doesn't think about what he's going to say. He just speaks.
Yeah, no,
so
because...
I'm not sure if that's a good example, but you see what I'm trying to
Yeah, because I'm very... basically, the French adopted me quickly, so I was very dedicated to, okay, you're giving me an opportunity, then I'm going to make the effort
to try.
And actually speak instead of using the crutch of, I know you understand English, let me switch to English.
Yeah.
Then there's no point.
Which I do all the time. I'm super guilty of.
I said, you're supporting me, then I'm going to have to make the effort. And it worked because it forced me to think more like that, and it forced me to learn words and just be comfortable.
I mean, I'm like I said, I'd love to try. But again, I'm not a podcaster. Even though I have a podcast, that's not my primary
I love to
function.
talk. I like to hang out. So.
Yeah. So like, I remember when I worked for the government and everything was in French. It took me a while to adjust to like how much I was like, wow, people speak French here. In Quebec. I had never noticed.
Yeah.
But
the amazing thing right now is that the more that you're going to be doing that, you're going to see that your the language that you speak is going to change dramatically, which is a good thing. I mean, a lot of people, like you said before, didn't feel like it just because look, I speak English, you understand, so fuck it. We're just.
I do love those mixed conversations.
I think that's a good thing, man. I think it's a great thing, and obviously, I've seen that your French has improved significantly, and in a very short span of time, right? So
he's come a long way since Je ne supporte pas ça.
Yeah, look, I'm trying my best. Like I said, if ever someone whenever someone does something for me, like, because I feel like they did something for me, they're opening doors.
It's your immigrant background that does that.
Yeah, I feel like, okay, I have to reciprocate. And this is one of those things. And I'm having fun, dude. It's because it's more difficult for me in French.
It's a challenge.
It's becoming, at first it was like nauseating. I was like, oh, fuck, it's not as fun because I have to work harder.
Yeah.
And now it's part of the fun. It's become
le fun.
It's become part of the fun for me to be like, oh, how am I gonna say this? Because some shit does not, even though the joke could work, does not translate properly directly from English to French. So I have to find clever ways to bring the same idea with the same punchline, the same punch, and that's become part of the fun. And then I'll ask Mike, I'll go like, can I say this? And he's like, this word works better. Try this, and and so I'm always trying, and that's become part of the fun. So I'm having a good time. Plus it's not all French.
You have access to Mike.
I have access to Mike,
and massive, and I don't mean his network. I mean like his opinion. And I have access to a lot of French comics now that I've become friends with that are all knowledgeable enough to tell me,
this will work better, this won't. But also the announcements. We just don't have one right now. But in a couple of weeks, we might have a big announcement for 2 Drink Minimum also. Maybe in a month or so, maybe more than that, we'll see. But we might have a huge announcement for that. So we're working on, we're working on all fronts. Me, Mike, and me and Mike are working very hard, and he's there making sure he doesn't fuck shit up.
A big announcement.
Do you watch more French stuff now, or do you read more French stuff?
I read more French stuff. I try to keep up with the news in French. I listen more. Because I just for vernacular purposes, you know, there's certain words that they'll use in the slang that I want to get comfortable with, but I also don't want to lose the way I speak French.
Because it's charming.
They like it, and also that's how I express myself.
Yeah,
but I don't think you'll ever lose that.
No,
I don't think I can.
It'll change a bit.
I don't think. Yeah,
I mean, even me now watching you do French stuff, like when you do you went on Couple Ouvert, you were on with Emile.
Yeah.
Like watching that, even my French is affected by it because I was not consuming any French content before at all. I mean, maybe some French stuff from Europe because whatever, I would watch the news like online, but it's really like changed for me. Like watching him when he was, because I watched your whole interview, whatever episode that you did, the Nous les Grecs thing. I was watching and I was like, Poseidon's French is not bad.
It's not bad, no.
It's very like, qu'est-ce que tu fais? Est-ce qu'on fuck?
Yeah,
like,
it's very salesman.
It's very
greasy
Greek guy
salesman.
in a French club.
Yeah.
But it's not bad in any sense.
It's not bad at all.
I'm not trying to insult you. It is a very...
It's not bad at all, yeah. It's aggressive, but it's not bad at all.
Yeah,
it's sexually aggressive.
Yeah, it's sexually aggressive, but it's not bad at all. It's not bad. But you know what's crazy is what you said is funny because I also have friends who I know would never even think of watching something in French. And because they watch all the podcasts, they started watching the French cast. Like, I started watching podcasts, and then Thomas Levac, I started watching his. And I go,
he's fucking funny.
I go, you started watching French stuff? And it's like, yeah. And he's like, because your podcast got me into it now.
Yeah.
So now I'm like, I'm doing more than Legault, bro, to bring English people to the French side, bro. It's fucking crazy. Yeah, you see what happens with love.
What's the French word for sotira, George? Don't they have an equivalent?
Like savior, you mean?
Yeah.
But do you see what a difference love is versus aggression?
Okay, call me lefty, bro.
No, but do you see the difference when with open arms when you accept something instead of forcing it down someone's throat? You see the fucking difference?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Well, there was a Poseidon joke in there. Love and forcing it down someone's... Anyways.
Yeah, that literally happened in the chat. They're saying it right now. Morgato said, watching French podcast now because the French cast. I'm telling you guys, with love, we will cure all. I am a big hippie.
Okay, Lennon.
Speaking of...
Not that Lennon. Not that Lennon.
Speaking of...
my whole platform was for love.
Yeah.
I just wanted to love the Jews.
I just love potatoes.
Speaking of Thomas Levac, I recently did his podcast.
Yeah, it's gonna come out soon.
Oh, he has his own?
I don't know.
Without
his wife.
His wife.
Very good episode.
What's their deal? Is she a comedian too, or she just does it with him because it's fun?
No, she's not a comedian. She's just funny.
Okay,
Steph.
She's
she
just
works in
funny.
comedy. She works with Mike.
Like a behind the scenes or?
Yeah. She works in accounting, I think.
Because they got a fucking great dynamic.
She's funny, her. Because I was telling him last time too. I go, your wife is not a comic, but she has a comic brain in French.
Don't clap too hard to hurt my wrist.
She's funny. It's funny because she sent me an invoice the other day. I didn't know she was back at work. She's like, for the Brassard thing. And I was like, man, I refuse to charge. That was a favor for me. And right away she's like, all right, no fucking problem. Like the other girl used to fight me. Every time I didn't want to get paid, she used to force me to get paid. So it would get awkward, yeah. Because I'm like, no, I don't want that. I'm doing it because it was fun. And then she would get fucking really... And then I'm like, oh, fuck, okay, fine, just end it. But her, she's not... she understands. She's like, he's an adult. He said no. She doesn't force it, yeah.
Interesting.
By the way, just a little side
What were you
note.
trying to say? Yeah.
Deviation, yes.
Deviation.
I got very excited. Like, you were getting a hard-on for comedy. Now I have a hard-on because I just found out.
You OnlyFans.
Guys are allowed to marry guys?
No, on OBS.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
OBS.
OBS.
Yeah.
And through the Stream Deck,
Yeah.
I can apply voice modifiers.
Yeah, I told you this.
No. Like live.
Yeah, I told you this.
You never told
It's
me.
one of the features on the
Are you about to do it now? Is that what you're
No,
doing?
I'm not going to do it now.
It's on the Stream Deck.
I'm not going to fuck with the show. It's on the Stream Deck, but I have to download an external thing and I have to
Yeah,
play
no, I
with
told
OBS.
you. There's sound effects. I told you when the update was done.
I can literally apply like a live beep. So like whenever you swear, it's just a beep. I think I could do that.
No, you can't.
You mean
You
like
have to
watch
time
out
it.
for when we...
No, not even. It'll do it by itself. Apparently.
Oh, you don't want that.
No, you don't want the
don't want
AI,
that.
and OBS is not built for
Yeah,
No,
that.
no,
and I want. Can you keep AI away from us, bro?
Yeah.
You ever, let me ask you: have you never fucking watched Terminator? Is that the game you're playing with me right now? Didn't we watch Terminator together on one of the movie nights?
Did you? No, you watched Demolition
No, we
Man.
didn't.
We didn't. Oh, you gotta. Oh, I gotta watch
Never seen
Terminator. with me.
Terminator?
I've watched 1 and 2.
Terminator.
Those are the most.
Those are the
important
only ones you need to watch.
Yeah, the rest you don't want
I
to
watched them when I was a kid.
Oh yeah, the rest
I'm
died.
back again and again and again and again. That's
We gotta
what I-
watch Dr. Phil together.
Dr. Phil?
Yeah,
Phil McGraw?
yeah,
His show?
yeah. We gotta
Why?
watch that together.
His podcast is huge, apparently.
Dr. Phil has a podcast.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
called
yeah,
Fill in
yeah,
the
yeah.
Blanks.
Yo, why is Phil stepping in on my shit, dog? No, but you gotta check out Dr. Phil the show, bro. It's ridiculous.
Of course, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's still happening. It's still going on.
I think so.
Yeah, all that shit. It makes so much money because housewives watch the fuck out of
They
that.
watch and Dr. Oz.
The
They
Turkish
love
guy,
that
yeah.
shit. Yeah, Öztürk, Özgür Türk.
Yeah, the Turkish guy. Dr. Ozzy always has like, you have a pimple on your anus. It's like, why is this on TV?
Well, if you just do this detox, you can get the pimple off your anus and in your mouth.
It's like, why are we looking at photos of people's assholes on daytime TV? Any other show wouldn't be allowed to show an asshole.
Springer, when it was in its
Springer
heyday.
couldn't show assholes. They would censor everything.
That's true. I remember being homesick from school and watching Jerry Springer and being like, oh, they're going to show a titty. It's like fucking kind of scrambled. I like it.
Jerry.
Does
That was
Springer
some white
have,
trash
does
nonsense.
Springer have one of those judge shows now? Like
No,
he's some sort of judge.
Springer.
Wasn't he the mayor of something? He was a mayor of a city, right?
Really?
I don't know. How's this news? Why are we talking about this?
I don't know.
Fucking
You
Jerry
mentioned Springer.
Did I? I'm sorry.
Yeah, no. Let's go back to to the real news. The other day, Valerie Plante launched her campaign.
Great
So this is
segue.
exciting because we're officially in campaign mode with respect to the municipal.
This is only exciting for you nerds. We're officially in campaign mode.
Nerds.
But so there's a lot of movement now. There's a lot of stuff that's going to come out. I'm going to talk to you a little bit later about something that Balarama Holness posted, which is like one of the boldest moves I've
What did
seen.
you just say?
What the fuck is a Balarama?
Yeah.
We've spoken about this guy
Oh yeah, it's
before.
the guy, bro. The guy who
No way
told.
there's a guy named Balarama, bro.
I went through this. I
a
didn't believe
name.
it either. It's a real name,
What a
and he
gangster.
told George off online. They got into a fight.
What did Balarama say to you?
Wait, let me finish with Valerie Plante. We'll get to Balarama.
I don't
So
care about
basically-
Val. I want to hear about Balarama.
She kicked off her campaign the other day by announcing that there's going to be free public transport, public transit for children under the age of 12.
But I don't want these kids on public
I
transit.
thought we had that already.
Yeah.
No,
Oh.
apparently we didn't. And $1 transit tickets for all the seniors starting Thursday, so tomorrow.
Okay.
But if she's reelected as of next year in 2023, all seniors will be able to travel for free.
We should have that already.
We should already put them all on buses and ship them out.
You know what, guys? This was one of the
Stick it
in
from
last in 2018 provincial campaign. Some parties were actually suggesting this, and I was speaking with
To
a lot
ship
of
off the
seniors.
old people.
They weren't really happy about it. Like, why would
Why
the
would they?
government?
Can I just
pay?
make a small segue, George? It's gonna be quick, I promise. Speaking of putting people on buses, I remember growing up, every time I would come home late from Park Extension on Bates in the back, because we're talking about Bates before you came in.
You're gonna talk about Jews, aren't you?
There was always these fucking like unmarked white school buses filled with Hasidic Jews, like
Yeah,
like
yeah.
hundreds of them, always in the dead of night.
I found out.
Where were they going?
They were for the Sabbath, for the Friday, Saturday. They were going, I think, up north. They had set up like it was kind of like camping.
Okay.
Yeah, because I remember I had asked the same question.
There's a huge community up in Saint Adolphe or Saint Agathe or somewhere
Yes.
up there.
No.
Can you
dude,
stop Poseidon, bro?
no.
Don't put any fucking sound effects.
No,
so
dude.
because I remember
I don't want to be affiliated to this
I,
podcast.
I found out
I'm out. I'm
one
out.
one of my friends that I work with, my buddy Harry. He was the one who I had asked. I go, let me ask you, because he wasn't Hasidic, but he was religious, you know, so he knew his stuff. And I was like, what's going on there? Like they get on trains and buses and shit like that. And he's like, yeah, they go. I think it's just for the Sabbath. They go for 2 days, and then they come back after that.
okay.
And because I remember I told him like,
Because it
look,
was sketch.
well, what I said is I would never, after World War II, I would never trust if I was Jewish for you to put me on fucking buses and trains and shit. I would avoid that like the fucking plague. So that's
Especially
why.
next to a place called Kruger.
Yeah, bro. That's why I was,
Next to
that's
a
why I was
train
surprised.
track.
like, what the fuck are you guys doing, bro? Don't trust these fucking buses. He's like, no. They're
Drive
all
your
ours."
cars. Drive your
Yeah,
cars.
he goes, we operate it all. It's all a system. And I was like,
okay.
oh fuck, okay, now I get it.
Anyways, George, back to the old people getting
Legit
free.
question though. Good job, Phil.
Thank
Very yeah.
Filling those holes since 1986.
Yeah, so that's what she decided to start off her campaign with, free public transport. I'm curious to see exactly exactly what else was gonna come out. And surprisingly, Denis Coderre has been very, very silent.
But
Not
deadly.
much campaigning. I don't know what he's doing. I don't know if he's just relying on the fact that he's popular and that he's leading in the polls. But at some point, we're going to have to see some sort of action, because even the other guy, Balarama, that nobody knows, is actually, and because I follow him, he's on the ground much more than the other two.
Who is this guy?
He is the third candidate. He created a party called Movement Montreal. We spoke about this in previous episodes. You weren't there. This guy surfaced back in
Fucking
2017.
George with the fucking
He
backstab.
had with the whole racial profiling and discrimination in the police force, and he got over 20,000 signatures for a petition.
Is
and
he?
forced
What's his ethnic background?
I think he's.
Profilable.
Is he profilable? That's what I wanted to know. Yeah.
I'm not. Yeah. I'm not sure. He's
I mean,
from
is it named
Caribbean.
like Balarama Singh or something?
No. He's from the Caribbean.
Oh,
he played in the Alouettes. He won the Grey Cup with the Alouettes. This guy.
He's a footballer.
I mean, I never knew him, but I don't know the people that are more
Interesting.
more in tune with
the
the
only
sports.
community leader I know who's Caribbean is Goofy Well Done.
Who's that?
He's a Caribbean activist in the city. He's always organizing their community stuff. His name is Goofy Well Done.
I
see him on CTV News all the time.
I just checked the comments in the Flat Earth video that we had.
Oh no.
For a fucking Flat Earth that said he's convinced that NASA's spending their money on CGI. That's how they're explaining my questions away.
Isn't it crazy?
That's so stupid.
So stupid.
This sounds like my father.
They're all dumb.
Remember when my father said they used CGI for the Twin Towers?
Yeah, it's the same thing, bro. They're fucking dumb as shit. This is I love the 21st century, bro.
Yeah, CGI. And then the towers magically disappeared when the CGI was gone.
Yeah, it's all nonsensical.
They had actually been a holographic projection for years. They were never there.
Yeah, exactly.
All those people, they didn't exist.
No, he said the airplanes were CGI.
And they just put off bombs. I mean,
Yeah.
if you're gonna go crazy,
Aeroplane no real.
aeroplane no fly.
Oh, sorry, George, we cut you off. Keep going, sir.
So that's it. So I'm suspecting that there's more. There's more that's going to come out. Like I was saying in a recent poll done by Leger, they have Coderre coming into the lead with 46%. Valerie Plante is right behind him at 34%. So there's like a good 12-point spread there. She said that a campaign is not a race; it's a marathon. She's in it for the long haul. She says that she's proud of her record on issues like public transit, and she's eager. Yeah, she's eager to push through more measures, to improve Montreal's quality of life and all that's, the general stuff that we always hear politicians talk about.
I will give all the people that vote for me a free bell to put on their bicycle. Ding, ding.
Yeah. So anyway, all I'm saying is that it's exciting. I mean, it's starting. We're going to be seeing more and more things coming out from their platforms. Like I said, Coderre has been very silent. Not many announcements. I think he's pretty much busy on getting his team in place. But at some point, he's going to have to start saying something because I think he's behind. I mean, even like I said before, Balarama has come out and he said, some big things there that he wants to do. One of the biggest ones, like this is what we mentioned last week or 2 weeks ago. Phil wasn't here, where he said that if he were to be elected, he would literally defund the police. He believes that the cops, the budgets allocated to the police are present a surplus. He thinks they're getting way too much money, so they can get that difference and invest it somewhere else.
In rotis for every citizen.
I have a question for you, George. I know that now you're in Brossard, so much like visible minorities and women, you don't have the right to vote in this election. But if you did right now and the day was today, would you vote for Valerie Plante or Denis Coderre?
Or
I
Balarama.
don't know, man. I don't know. I don't like Valerie Plante. I don't know. I don't like at all what she's done. From now, so far, what I've seen from Balarama, he's a little too left for me. In fact, I think he's even more left than.
I never mentioned Balarama. I'm talking about real candidates.
No, I'm telling you. Yeah, well, he is a real candidate. He has a real party. So.
Yeah, okay.
And Denis Coderre, man, I just have a feeling that the arrogance is just gonna come up again. I like Denis Coderre as a mayor. I think he put Montreal on the map. He was much more of an international mayor than anyone we've had in the past. But the guy has this fucking arrogance that I just could never stand. And not since he's become the mayor. I knew Denis Coderre since back in the days where he was a federal MP, and minister. There's this arrogance, man, that this guy cannot shake off. And
now
right now, Valerie, the Bike Avenger, has my vote.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
And Coderre has to win because Coderre's done some fuckery. And the fact that he was talking about limiting people's drinking. Remember that? Like, you're not allowed to it's like he's going to impose new laws and get the fuck out of here. You can tell me what to do.
But
Fuck out of here.
But he wanted to do the
Next thing
opposite.
you know, he's going to want to put fucking seatbelts and get the fuck out of here, bro.
I don't know. I didn't hear about that because I remember back when in his last campaign in 2017 there was a pilot project to have bars and whatever in his, I can't remember where in the city of Montreal.
I don't trust pilots either.
He wanted to test it out to have the bars open until 6 a.m.
Yo, I can get behind that. I mean, it doesn't change anything for me. I have kids. I'm in bed by 9.
You know why? Because he needed a few more hours to try to pick up that one girl. He's like, if only she could drink for another 3 hours, maybe I could get away with this. That's why.
No, it was if only last call included breakfast.
Yeah.
That would be great.
He's like, if she drinks enough to legally go blind, I think I have a chance.
But I mean, look, in terms, because see, everyone has been talking, and I think his team, the communications team behind him, they were pushing the fact that he's a changed man, and ever since he lost, he's transformed himself. Like, you know, he had some family issues and health issues that he took care of, and he's like this new man. And then suddenly, a couple weeks ago, and I think we spoke about this, there was a snap. Someone snapped a picture of him through their car where he's in his car driving and he's holding his cell phone. I don't know if you guys remember that.
Yeah.
And so they interviewed him. And I saw the same arrogant Denis Coderre answering these questions. And I thought, if the campaign hasn't even started and you're attacking everyone already from now about this one picture, imagine what will happen during the campaign. So I don't know, man. Honestly, I'm glad that I don't vote on the island of Montreal, but obviously I follow what's going because it's, you know, it's our big city. I mean, it's important, and I feel that the last 4 years have been destructive for the city of Montreal, which is why I don't understand how you can support Valerie Plante. I mean, I personally think that she's destroyed the city.
Here's what I'm telling you. She has destroyed the city, but so has he. And I'm not going to forget about the wasted money on the Ferris wheel and the lights when kids are going hungry. So I will not forget your insolence, Mr. Coder. So at least this hippie, I know where she stands. She's like,
So you're like,
I don't know what I'm doing. I'm going to fuck shit up. I'm like, okay, I know where she's going. This guy is going to lie about, I know what I'm doing, and then fuck shit up. I don't want to have this false hope. I'm going to go with the woman who I know. All right, she's going to fuck shit up. She admits it. I know it. People are going to ride their bicycles around Armageddon Town. That's fine. You get me? But he has a chance. I haven't voted yet. The vote is not in yet. I believe that'll be in November. So
tell me something. You guys,
anybody, I'll tell you guys right now for the candidates. Anyone could win my vote right now, whether it's Ballarama, whether it's Coder, or whether it's the Bike Avenger. Right now, the Bike Avenger has the vote, but it can be swayed differently. You prove to me, open mind here, you prove to me that you're the better candidate. I will not only vote for you, I will endorse you to my millions and millions of followers.
I mean, today I can't vote. Tomorrow I will be able to. Because technically I don't live in, right now, officially my address is still not, it's on the island, but it's not in the city of Montreal.
Oh, you guys can't vote in TMR? You can vote.
We vote for
No,
TMR.
it's a separate,
Really?
Now I'm a citizen of Montreal.
You elitist cocksucker.
Not anymore, man.
It's high society.
As of today, I can vote in Montreal
Who's the
again.
mayor of
Philippe
TMR?
Roy.
Whoever the mayor of TMR is should be the mayor of Montreal.
He's doing a bang-up job, yeah.
TMR is great.
Yeah, bro.
We have a surplus. I mean, I don't have. Now I live in Montreal again. So I don't
Just
have
a poor
surplus.
boy from a poor family.
He's just a poor boy with.
He's a great guy, Philippe. I actually know him, and it's
He's not
sad.
running again. I think he's done.
He's not running again because, well,
We were
I'll
talking
tell you
about
what I
this,
think
George,
about
recently.
Philippe.
What
but
more can I do? You have 18 ice cream parlors.
We only have 3.
The sad thing with Philippe is that he's stepping down because of all the bullying on social media, and like he's like,
What?
you know what, I've had enough, man.
Wait, what?
Fuck
Hold on a
that
second.
shit.
What did you say?
The Royal Mount project, really, people turned on him.
Wait, he's turning because people are bullying him, or because of bullying in
He's
general?
getting bullied.
No, oh yeah, he's just tired
lot
of
of
all the
threats.
crap online.
How old is this pussy?
and he's
He's like 40.
You're 40 years old, bro. What the fuck do you got? I got flat earthers threatening to kill me with their fucking invisible lasers. I don't give a shit.
This is
I
him.
know, but it's
This is him
I
right
can
now.
understand how sometimes it can get overwhelming. But I respect the guy for standing up to the city of Montreal with the Royal Mount project, because the city of Montreal, they told him that they're not going to go forward with it. They're going to vote against it. And he's like, well, fuck off, because it's on my territory, so you can pretty much do whatever you want.
I like
mean,
that.
You say that,
jurisdiction
George.
here.
George, you say that, but the residents of the town, like, we weren't consulted properly about it, and like a lot of I will let you know.
Look, the residents of the town, like when you need to fuck off at some point. Let the adults handle business.
I mean,
what, Phil?
Those people are the adults.
Let's
of the city.
Let's talk in 10, 15 years when
I'm not
TMR
saying
is
I'm
going to be
against
collecting
it.
so many taxes. They're going to be fucking floating above everyone else.
They already are, first of all, and
They
I don't
already
live there
are.
anymore, so
And
like
that's
I'm sad about it.
and it's a good thing. It's going to revitalize the center of the island. I don't think it's a bad thing. I'm always in favor of development projects. Always.
Did we need another mall at Midtown? I don't know. Did we need a bunch of other stuff like the
But
movie
think about it,
theater
man. It's
building
not a
and all
mall.
that?
It's a whole complex.
It's a fucking
like
Zistrand. That's what it is.
Yeah, okay.
Of
And
course
this
you love
works.
it. You live in fucking Broussard.
I should build an elitist comedy club there.
Yeah, okay. It's nice and central. We should move our offices there.
Elite jokes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And all of my jokes are like, hey everybody, what's the deal with poor people? Am I right?
Look at them over there on the other side of the highway.
Yeah. Hello, Filipinos. Hello. I'm just being mean to everyone.
But
What
with
do you got
respect to
against the
Philippe, I
Filipinos?
What I'm
have
saying
this-
is that's the neighborhood.
Oh yeah.
but,
I was
with
making a local reference.
Actually, it's
I
not
have
anymore.
this. I don't know why,
noticed.
but I have this feeling that he may be looking into making a jump to the provincial, to provincial politics.
do
I
well
have
in
a
provincial
feeling that
politics.
next time around, Pierre Arcan, that is elected in Royal Luchemont, he won't be running again. And I have a feeling that perhaps he's
Why?
the guy.
Because you went on vacation during COVID.
I will say this, George. I did not know about this mayor of TMR. I don't even know his name. I don't know what the fuck he looks like. But if he runs provincially, he already has my vote. I will tell you why. Because I see his work in TMR. And that is a goddamn great neighborhood. Probably the greatest neighborhood in Montreal history. All right? No residential school type of shit happened there. Great fucking place. Stop talking, Phil. Don't ruin it for me. Don't ruin it for me. So I see the work he's put in there. I love going to that neighborhood. It has my favorite restaurant in that neighborhood.
Which one?
It has parks. Gallows.
Gallows. Oh, Gallows.
Yeah.
You like Gallows?
My favorite restaurant.
Really?
I love it.
Man, it's hit or miss.
Gallows.
Because I lived right there. Sometimes it's a Portuguese chicken place.
It's a delicious chicken
Sometimes
Portuguese.
it's a no
I
good.
get the
Is
chorizo.
that on Graham?
It is.
Yeah, on Graham,
Yeah.
Oh, I've been there. It's a little place, right?
It's a little place, yeah.
Little funny little place.
Yeah, it's really nice, really nice.
I mean, I've lived there for 8 years. It was fantastic.
I love that place. So, anyways, I go there a lot actually. So,
Why don't you not come visit me when I live there?
I did. I'd call. I'd be like, I'm outside your house. And you're like, never call me again.
Fucking liar.
I was outside your house yesterday too. I go ice cream there too.
It's up the street, yeah.
Yeah. So, anyways, so I see the work he's done there. Great fucking place. So if you're telling me this guy's gonna run at a higher level, I'm with you. These douchebags haven't done anything.
I don't know if he is. I have a feeling that that's just a sorry excuse. You know, I've been bullied on social media. I can't take it anymore. Blah blah blah. I have a feeling that maybe in the back of his mind, he's seeing kind of stuff unfolding provincially, and maybe he's aligning himself. I'm not sure. I don't know.
I mean, what
But
else can you do in TMR?
Oh, I
He's
forgot to
gotta
pay
move
my
on.
parking in front.
Me too.
It's just my gut feeling.
I'm gonna
Anyway.
leave in like 5 minutes because I gotta go pick up my little baby from.
Let
her
me
daycare.
tell you guys. Okay,
wanna
before
go
you leave,
downstairs,
because this
check
is
the
interesting.
ticket?
I want to know what you guys think
I'll
about
check when
this.
I go down.
No, he's gonna tell me because if we didn't, I'll just pay it.
I want to know. I want to know what you guys think about this because, and we're going back to Balarama. So he made this
front.
bold
Right in
statement.
front. Right. Sorry, George,
la-
go on.
Yeah, bold statement last week. I mean, it takes balls to do this shit.
He said,
A
"Fuck
day-
George" on social media.
A day after Saint Jean Baptiste, one day after, he came out and he said that if he were to be elected, he would make Montreal.
Great again.
He would make Montreal a bilingual city. He wants the status of bilingualism for the city of Montreal.
I don't mind that.
No, but it's a bold, like, especially given the context today with everything happening with Bill 69 in Quebec and the other one in Ottawa about protecting the French language and beefing up, Bill 101 and all these things. The federal, Mélanie Joly's bill highlighting the primacy of the French language. This guy comes out one day after Saint Jean Baptiste and says, "Well, if I'm elected, we're going to make Montreal a bilingual city. Yes, Quebec is a French province, but the reality on the ground in Montreal is completely different." And mind you, the first article in the charter of the city of Montreal, it stipulates that Montreal is a French language city. But according to Balarama Holness, he thinks that status should be modified to make Montreal a multicultural and bilingual city.
It is, isn't it?
I don't disagree with him. The problem is that given the political context today, it's a huge thing to come out and say as a statement. there's good news and bad news in this thing. I think that with this statement, he just put himself on the map by taking that position, especially because of what's happening politically. So you have all these communities in the West Island, for example, and the Anglo communities in the middle of Montreal, like downtown Montreal, that are really on the fence right now with what's happening both provincially and federally with respect to the French language bills.
On the fence, like about to jump the fence and leave. What do you mean?
No, they're upset. I mean,
I'm really excited about all this linguistic and ethnic strife. Like it bodes well for me because if everyone starts leaving again, the fucking real estate market's gonna crash, and I can buy a house.
Yeah.
So vive le Québec libre.
So I have a feeling that this guy's probably going to win a lot of support, and most likely he's going to go get votes from Denis Coderre. That's why I'm wondering where Denis Coderre is within all this debate, right? He's absent completely.
No, he's at the buffet.
What'd you say?
He's at the buffet.
He's at the buffet.
Yeah, he's at the buffet. So yeah, so I have a feeling that he's walking into his territory with this. But at the same time, what about the French-speaking electors in Montreal? Like, I mean, is it intelligent to risk losing that portion of the population because you want to make a statement? And I agree, maybe that's what he believes. So he's going after what he believes. The question is this what should be happening in Montreal? This is a huge debate. Like this guy just brought a huge debate that is provincial and federal jurisdiction. He just brought that at the municipal level right now. So he's opening up a huge can of worms.
You know why I don't like him now? Because I feel like he's trying to be political. I'll tell you why, George, because these are sous-entendus. You don't need to say it. Montreal, whether you like it or not, is an international city. It's viewed by the rest of the world as like an important city. It's a tourist place. It's gonna be.
Then why not make it official then?
But hold on.
I'm looking into his argument.
Okay, but what does official mean to you? You need legislation to dictate to you that when I go downtown or whatever, I can speak English or French or even Chinese, maybe some places, and I get service. It's already that, okay? Why would I need someone to be like, no, now it's mandated? Because whether it's mandated or not, what we care is the actual action, no?
It doesn't change anything.
It doesn't change anything. I feel like it's a political stunt.
Of course it is.
Yeah, it doesn't change anything. But
because whether you like it or not, Montreal is a metropolis. Whether you like it or not, Montreal is international.
But look what's happening provincially, all right, and federally. They want to officially recognize Quebec as a distinct nation, which is okay, and they want to make Quebec a French province. So this is huge, right? And again, we can use the same argument. Nothing's really going to change because on the ground, people don't care. Chances are that they don't even follow what's going on in politics. But on paper, that's what it's going to be. So if that's the case, then I'm just looking at his argument. Why not do that? If that's the reality on the ground, if in Montreal, the reality is that it's a multicultural city, it's not only French. Why not make it official? Why not put that in the charter of the city and say that, no, it's not a French-speaking city. It should be a bilingual city. And bilingual, I'm not just suggesting English and French because it could be French and Spanish, French and Greek, English and Arabic, whatever it is. I mean, there's so many languages in Montreal. So I kind of get this point.
George, hold on.
Yeah.
I'm going to stop you for a second. I have to go. I have to go get my baby.
Fuck out of here.
Guys, I'll see you Friday.
Bye, buddy.
Good luck with the babes.
It's good to be back.
See you soon.
But George, what you're saying is it should be known as a bilingual city with any language?
Well, because bilingual could mean anything, right?
But as far as I'm concerned, I knew that Quebec was always a French province, and Montreal it's international. I mean, it's both, but it's international.
I know, but on paper, like I said, like it's the first article in the city's charter. It says that Montreal is a French language city. It's the first article of the charter of Montreal.
I went to Val d'Or in December for Mike Ward's Sous-Écoute show. At the hotel, you remember this, Poseidon? The lady at the hotel, when I started speaking to her because she heard my accent, she switched to English.
Yeah.
In Val d'Or, they speak both languages.
Yeah, but that happens outside in the regions, guys.
But that's what I'm saying. So this whole thing of nobody speaks and this and that, like, fuck, bro. Everyone's not stupid. People speak fucking different languages.
Yeah. No, I understand. What I'm saying now, I'm just looking at what he's trying to do, like the point that he's trying to make. First of all, it's a bold move. Like, this has never happened before because, first of all, it's not Montreal's jurisdiction.
Yeah.
Like the municipalities are an organ of the Quebec government, okay? And especially on these matters, like it's not your territory, buddy. So he's bringing that debate to the municipal elections. So I think that the people behind him know and we've been suggesting this all along as well, that this whole language thing is going to open up a can of worms going forward into the provincial elections next year and probably in the federal elections this year. And he's bringing that debate to the municipal realm. I have a feeling that, yes, it is political. He wants votes, and he's probably going to get quite a few of them with that position, especially with everything. Like, everyone is heated up right now. Everyone's ready to go. You have the English communities that are fucking all over the place right now. And you have this guy that's running for Montreal mayor that is suddenly planting his flag and saying, I'm here for you. I'm just curious to see what's going to happen, the flip side of the coin. What about the French-speaking communities that are there to support what's happening from Quebec and from Ottawa? What about them? Is he neglecting them? What does he have to, what's his argument to them? That's what I don't know, But I just found it interesting. I just wanted to know a little bit what you guys thought. I mean, because, the reality is different on the ground, but should Montreal be officially recognized as a bilingual city? Should it get that bilingual city status that other municipalities have?
Look, as far as I'm concerned, it is. So I don't give a shit because it won't change anything on the ground. Whether you call it, do you see what I'm saying? Calling a rose by another name, still a fucking rose. So I don't give a shit. This is a political tactic, a divide and conquer type of shit. We got to say it's bilingual because the French are coming. What are you talking about, dude? Just shut the fuck up. If you want, put better laws in place that will help tourists, signs or whatever, work on fucking that. But to change the status for who? It's an image thing. It's not going to change what we speak on the ground. We speak both languages here. So I don't like the politics of it. I don't like the whole divide. I don't like the us versus them thing. And they're both doing it. They do it on a provincial level. He's trying to do it on a purely, I guess, municipal level here. I don't enjoy that type of shit. I don't enjoy that. It's not good for anyone.
Right.
So that's how I feel.
We'll see. I mean, look, this guy's taken really, I don't want to say extreme, but he's really taking these bold moves, man. And what he said about defunding the police, and let's not forget one thing. His main premise is that this party is based on the opinions of the people. We're going to do everything as a public forum. If you want to express your things, come tell us what you think. We're going to move forward kind of with that, with that approach. I don't really agree with that. I think any political party needs leadership, and you need to kind of make your decisions rather than to listen to thousands of people's opinions and to kind of find some sort of middle ground that pleases everyone. So yeah, I don't know. This seems to be one of those things where, okay, the Anglos are mad, let's support them, right? There's a huge mobilization that is advocating to defund the police. Perfect. Let's get on their side as well. So I just don't know. I'm curious to see what his economic platform is going to be like. For me, that's what matters. How are you going to put Montreal back on line? And I think that's where Denis Coderre might win a lot of points.
Because Denis Coderre's economic platform is better?
I don't know if it's going to be better. For sure it's going to be much more appealing than Valérie Plante's.
We don't know that yet. You're talking shit about the Bike Avenger. But
we'll see. But I have a feeling that Denis Coderre, look, this is a guy that comes from the federal. There's a much more international aspect to his policies. He wants people to look into Montreal and for Montreal to look outward as well. And that's what he tried to do, I think, when he was the mayor. Think about it. The reason why he lost is because he flopped on a communications perspective with the Formula E racing thing.
And the money on the bridge. He fucked up a lot of things.
But let me tell you something about that, because the people are divided on that. Every major city that you look, whether it's New York, whether it's Sydney, name any big city, you have these big infrastructure, these monuments or whatever you want to call them, that are highlighted, right? I mean, he put lights on the Jacques Cartier. He brought the Ferris wheel. Yeah, people complaining because it was hundreds of millions of dollars. But I mean, look, if you want to be an international city, that's what you see in almost every city. Why not have that in Montreal?
People come here for the Ferris wheel, but they stay for the poutine. Come on.
What I'm saying is that
he did not build the Sydney Opera House.
No, he didn't build it.
No, I'm just saying that's not what we got. It's not like a crazy monument. It's a goddamn. fucking traveling circuses have Ferris wheels, and they do not spend $300 million on a fucking Ferris wheel.
I
It's
don't know if
nonsense.
that's what it costs to have the Ferris wheel in Montreal. I think I think you're throwing in a lot of money there.
Let's
All
Google
I'm
it.
saying is that if you want to be that big city that we claim we are, at some point you're gonna have to throw in the cash for these. Like, you know, we call it, you know, figure or whatever you want to call them. You know, but that's what it is. I mean, look at every big city. They have these things. Yes, it's a lot of money. Yeah, we lit up the Jacques Cartier Bridge. But, I mean, I don't think it's ugly. Yes, I think it was $40 million. Was it necessary to light up the bridge? Probably not.
No.
But, I mean, it does make Montreal nicer. And, I mean, I don't know. I mean, you took a staple monument of Montreal and you just put lights on it. I mean, I don't think
someone
that was
brings up
bad
a good
thing.
point, Frank, and I'm with you. All the major cities you talk about also have great roads, so why not start there?
Because it's not his jurisdiction. He doesn't care. It's not him. He doesn't take care of the roads. He takes care of the city of Montreal.
Yeah, the city of Montreal has roads.
Yeah, but it's not the city of Montreal that fixes the roads. It's the government of Quebec.
Oh, that's fucking hilarious.
You understand? Like, very little comes out of the city's budget for the roads. I mean, they do, but mostly it's
Interesting.
from an infrastructure program that comes from Quebec.
Yeah,
So
and,
at some
who
point,
who selects the companies that are going to be fixing the roads?
It depends. It depends. It's not always the city. It's
Well, it
sometimes
should
it's
be.
even-
It should be, right? If he this is what pisses me off. So if he really gave a shit about putting Montreal on the map, he'd be like, okay, I'm putting my foot down here. You keep fucking up the roads. I'm not going with you. Let's figure this out. These roads can't have we can't have cars disappearing. This can't happen anymore. You know, but he doesn't. He's like, let's put a fucking Ferris wheel. And
By the way,
Yeah.
just a little side, because I did some research quickly.
Yeah.
The Ferris wheel didn't actually come out of taxpayers' dollars.
Nice.
It came from private investors. It cost $28 million.
$28 million.
$28 million.
Yeah, that's how much Ferris wheels cost.
But
Yeah,
hold on.
yeah.
These
yeah.
were all private investors, so nothing came out of taxpayer dollars. Eh? So you know what? I'm not against it.
Okay.
Hey,
You don't find that suspicious? $28
and I-
million for
and
a
I think
fucking
it's
Ferris
bigger-
wheel?
But you
I
know-
think it's
hold on,
bigger than.
hold on.
How much
it's
did
one
the
of
fucking
biggest ones in
SpaceX shuttle cost?
Hold on, guys. You want to laugh? Guess how much it cost for the lights on the bridge?
Tell me.
It's 40.
$40 million.
That's absurd, bro.
Yeah.
Paid by the federal government.
Bro, $40 million. Are we fucking crazy?
It
You
co-
don't think there's some fuckery afoot?
Bro, it costs more to put lights than to build something.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yes, it's a lot of money. The question isn't that, and I agree with you. Maybe it could have been spent. I'm just thinking, as a city that you want to put on the map, you need these things at some point. I mean, I mean, look at the Champlain Bridge. They built a new bridge. Personally, I think it's a nice bridge. I think they could have done something much nicer. If we want to put Montreal on the map, we could have had a much more impressive looking bridge. But look, there's lights on that bridge too now. So, and it's not about the lights. It's not about the lights. It's just about, you know, when you
The
come to
corruption.
Montreal, what do you see? Like, what stands out? You know?
The homeless,
Yeah, yeah.
the holes in the fucking streets,
The rails, the on what's that street there that you
the constant construction, the plumbing problems, the warnings of boiling your water because it's not drinkable. The kind of shit that I would assume a first world, first class city would have solved by now. You know, the shit that is stupid, and the money that I'm saying should be spent there should obviously be spent on fucking lights of a bridge so they could be pink one day and fucking blue the next.
Well, it was nice when it was blue for the 25th of March. I mean, I appreciated that.
I'm sure the hungry kids in Montreal appreciated it too. Like,
Uh.
I'm going to school hungry, but at least that fucking bridge is blue. So did people whose cars just fucking got destroyed, whose tires flew off, who landed inside these goddamn caves, cavernous caves, because the fucking cement just tore up around them. They're like, at least the fucking bridge is pink today.
Look, there's a lot of issues that need to be tackled. That's for sure, and I agree with you. But all I'm saying is that I'm not
Go Google
100%
how much
against-
the bike lanes
That's what
cost.
I'm doing.
like all I'm saying is that I'm not 100% against these things that kind of make our city more, you know, beautiful.
I'm not fully against it, but I feel like you should have priorities.
Yes, there you go.
If we,
it would be very nice. I really like that car that Poseidon showed me for the first time. What is it? The Mercedes.
Oh, the AMG GT 53.
How much does that cost?
It starts at $120,000.
Yeah, I can't buy that. I have priorities.
Okay.
You get it? It's fucking great, but I can't just drop everything and be like, you're not eating, we're not paying rent, we're not doing this, I can have this car because it's nice and people are going to be like, yo, that's a nice car. That's crazy. I can't have my government willy-nilly spending money in the same fucking fashion. That's absurd.
Yeah, no, I understand. I understand what you're saying. I don't know. I don't know where the tipping point is, actually, to be honest with you. I mean, if you put everything on a priority list and you take one thing at a time, I don't think we're ever going to get to the end of it.
No, I know. I'm just saying, look, if he was like, I don't know, he had these programs where, I don't know, no kids were going to school hungry. Not like this 40% shit we have now. The roads, like, look, mandate is this. The roads, don't worry, we have quality products now. They're not going to be fucked up. And then he went to the bridges. No one would have said shit. They would have been like, look at this guy, beautification of Montreal. He's taking care of the kids. But instead, it's all, again, signaling stuff. It's all fugazi shit. It's like, I got my investors here. We have a fucking $40 million Ferris wheel. First of all, $28 million. How the fuck does a Ferris wheel cost $28 million? No one's asking that question because it's not our money, but whatever. And then the fucking lights on the bridge. This could have happened after. This could have happened after you took care of real fucking problems.
Yeah. I think it's one of the biggest Ferris wheels in North America, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know. I read that somewhere.
Yeah, that'll put us on the map. You can't punch your wife and then get her flowers and then it's all like nice and done. You gotta stop fucking punching her. That's where, you know what I'm saying?
Anyway, let's get on to more real news, and this is probably you're probably gonna appreciate this. The Parliament in Canada is suspended for the summer, and yesterday the Senate closed. Like, I think it was late in the night, and there were 4 urgent bills that needed to pass. We spoke about that 2 weeks ago, and the Senate, of those 4 bills, managed to pass 2 only.
Which ones?
And I'll tell you this, and this you're probably gonna like this. And the other 2 most likely won't be passed. So
are the other 2 that won't pass C10 and 36?
So you'll see. So they suspended for the summer, like I said. So the 2 bills, the priority bills that were passed, were C12 and C30. So C12 is for the new targets for the government to have on gas emissions, and C30 is new fiscal measures to prolong the financial aid during the pandemic. So the bills that did not pass from the Senate, just because they weren't, was C10 to reform the CRTC,
USA,
and C6 to ban conversion therapies.
USA. Wait, hold on. What about that new one, 36, that they want the hate speech thing?
Yeah, well, no. See, this is new legislation. It hasn't been tabled yet. The government
if C10 didn't pass, there's no way C36 is going to pass.
Yo, C36 is crazy. Apparently, in the law, they say that they can put you in jail if somebody complains that you might say something offensive.
No.
Did you read that shit, bro?
Anything that offends, embarrasses,
that might offend them in the future. That was the craziest thing. That was Minority Report. That was the craziest thing I ever saw. Because you know how easily you could fuck people over? You're like, yo, this guy's a comic. He normally makes fun of, Portuguese
I read
people.
about that, but I'm not sure if they tabled that yet. I heard that the Justice Minister, Lametti, wanted to table a new hate speech bill, but I'm not so sure if they tabled that one yet.
They're calling it hate speech because to make people jump on board, be like, yeah, we don't want hate. But when you read it, it's fucking Orwellian shit. What do you mean someone could sue me? That's what they said, basically, for maximum, I think, of $16,000 or $20,000 if something I said offended them. Are you fucking crazy?
Well, yeah. That opens a whole other debate on what exactly is hate speech.
They say hate speech is anything. They say that they had to define it. What do they say? More than dislike, more than, dude.
You're playing with
words.
If
you like bananas,
and you can't, see, this is the problem with this kind of legislation. And the other thing that I read also is that Lametti, he won't be touching online hate speech. He's leaving that to Mr. Guilbeault, who's in charge of that whole thing, and that kind of falls into this whole C10 business with a CRTC. So there's going to be a link to that. But in any case, the good news is that it didn't pass. So what happens now is that any bills that are left either in the House or in the Senate, normally, they die if they don't pass when a parliament is dissolved, and that's what happened. And we know now, unless something extreme happens and we don't go to elections, but from what I'm reading, it's almost guaranteed that there's going to be elections this fall. So maybe around August, September, around there. So what happens is that whichever government gets elected, like let's say Justin Trudeau gets reelected, which I think he will get reelected, they would have to retable the bills, and they would have to work their way through all the legislative stages again, before becoming law. So basically, they're starting from scratch all over again. And again, we don't know what this new parliament will be like, right? I mean, is he going to get a majority? Is he going to get a minority? Who knows? So I think that these bills are done. Or I mean, unless they table them again, I don't see how these things could evolve in the new legislature. So
Good, bro. Fuck these people. I'm
there's
happy.
always a possibility that they may retake. Look, I'm convinced that Justin Trudeau will win again. I don't think that he's going to win a majority government. I think he's going to have a much bigger minority than he has now, mainly because he has no opposition. I mean, the Conservatives have dropped the ball completely. I don't think that they've done a good job in opposition. And the guy, he's still fucking popular. So the question is, where is the Bloc going to be in the next campaign? The Bloc has really, really brought up its game. I think that they're going to probably pass the Liberals in Quebec.
Really?
I have a feeling they will.
Yeah, you might be right, actually.
Especially with everything happening, with the French language bills and the protection of the French language. I think the Bloc Québécois is going to gain some ground in Quebec. And we're going to see. At the end of the day, I'm happy that I read that the Senate just put those bills aside. I think it was all done purposefully. I know a couple senators, they were completely against C-10. They didn't want to touch it. And they actually even warned the House that whatever you guys do, once it gets here, trust me, it won't pass. We'll make sure that legislation like this won't ever become a law.
You fucking weirdos. You fucking Orwellian weirdos.
And they made it happen. So now,
Good.
and I was getting prepared for this morning, and I read the new hate speech law, and this is the other thing, and I just don't understand how we're headed in that direction, because
they trick people. They trick people because they put things like that. They put the title hate speech, so people will not look into it. They're like, yeah, who the fuck wants hate, right?
Yeah.
And then you don't look at what the fuck they attached to it, and you're like, wait, hold a second. So you're saying that the definition of hate speech and hate in this has nothing to do with race or what? It could be me saying I don't like bananas and fuck who does like bananas. I hate bananas. And then you could be like, oh, that offended me. So you could sue me for up to 16 G's. Are we fucking crazy? What a sensitive, weird fucking world do we live in?
Because this isn't new, right? I think the Conservatives under Harper tried to do something with hate speech, and it just didn't pass. It didn't pass. It failed. There was a huge debate on that, and I think the courts got involved. And anyway, in any case, it failed. So I think they're bringing that back now. I don't see how they're going to succeed again with it, and it just opens up a whole other debate on what exactly is hate speech, and it always brings us to in comparison to the U.S., where they actually have laws in their constitution. They have the free speech amendments in the U.S.
Yep.
That allows you to actually say whatever you want, as long as it's not violent.
As long as it doesn't lead to violence, you can't even inadvertently, you can't yell fire in a crowded theater because people will trample themselves. So, which is that's logical in the 21st century.
And I think it makes sense. So I'm not sure why we're taking a whole different direction here in Canada. I don't understand. I never did.
It's again, it's this. Let me try to appease people by saying big words, because in reality, and I think Mike's the one who first tabled this, who told me about this, and it's the right way to look at it. Freedom of speech, if you really believe you have freedom of speech, the only speech that should be protected is shitty speech. Because good speech, me telling you, hey, George, you look great, doesn't need to be protected.
Yeah, exactly.
Free speech is me being able to say, look, the prime minister, he's not good at his job. He's a little fucking goofy. Are we sure that he can do this? That's the speech that needs to be protected, is me saying dangerous things like that. Or I don't fucking like this movie. Fuck bananas. That's what free speech would be, right? Personally, I don't like this. I don't feel strongly. That's what free speech. Not fucking you're only allowed to say good things. That's crazy, bro. It's a fucked up thing.
And you know that this is going to bring up the whole debate again with Mike Ward, because if this new proposed hate speech legislation applies on online media, so this is where the responsibility of Mr. Guilbeault comes in. and then you can. I was reading that they could suspend stuff online for up to 48 hours or something like that. And so there's a bunch of stuff there, and I was thinking, I mean, imagine people that do the job that you do.
Oh, we'd be fine. But look, if that thing would pass right away, I would sue Jagmeet Singh for all of his hateful things that he said. Remember how he said that if you're a Nazi if you don't trust the vaccine rollout, all that stuff?
Yeah.
That personally hurt me. It was hate speech. Where's my 20 G's?
Yeah. So, see, it opens a huge can of worms, and especially what you're saying when you're playing with semantics, like, oh, hate speech is just above disrespectful, but just below. Like, come on, man.
Yeah. It's such a weirdly written thing. It's like a high school student wrote it. How do you decide that? Like, me and Poseidon tell each other, and Mike, some of the worst fucking heinous shit. I don't feel hate from it. No, but it's true. I don't feel hate from it. You might feel very bad if I say the things that I say to Poseidon to you, or the things Poseidon says to me to you. But it doesn't. You can't dictate for me. Yeah, it's fucking stupid.
Like but we grew up very differently.
It doesn't matter. That's the point, though.
But
that's
it doesn't matter. Poseidon,
the whole
doesn't
point
matter.
That's why it's
What
hard.
What matters is, I mean, we're playing with law over here, man.
Yeah.
Like, you're gonna shut someone up because he said something or she said something that you didn't like.
Basically,
I don't
when
agree
you're
with that.
when
I don't
you're
agree with that at all.
basically what they're doing to simplify it for people if they're having trouble understanding, what they're trying to do is on a piece of paper they're trying to put equal weight to kill all Koreans. And what the fuck is up with people that play video games? They're trying to put on the same level. Dude, it's going to be anarchy. It's going to be anarchy.
Incredibly dangerous.
It's stupid. It's stupid. It's incredible. The fact that politicians tried to table this and put this together proves to me that the system is fucking broken. That adults got together in a room and got that. Like, fuck, man, this is crazy.
But it's not the first time that Justin Trudeau has been criticized. I mean, the parliament has been upside down ever since he became prime minister. And I don't know if you guys saw this the other day. There was an article that came out, and Trudeau's Liberals want to take the Speaker of the House to court. We're talking about because this goes back, and I don't have the details, but I read it very quickly. There were these two Chinese scientists working out of a lab, I think somewhere in Ontario, that were fired for apparently they knew some information or something with respect to the virus.
I heard,
and to some leak, whatever, I don't know, linked to China. They think that maybe the Chinese government has some influence in that or something like that. And the Speaker of the House, he asked, because there's the health committee that is looking into this, and the people in charge haven't been given the information. They have all this documentation, we're talking about hundreds of pages, and they're not providing this information to the members of the House because they claim that it has to deal with protecting Canada's safety and security and all that stuff, right?
So wait, hold on. We're working for China now? We're protectorate of China?
I don't know. So the Speaker of the House, he orders I can't remember the member of Parliament to give him the entire document. That's it. That's all I want, and I will put that in the hands of
the proper authorities,
the members of Parliament, in order to debate, because that's his job. His job is to protect the
Constitution.
The what do you call it? The legitimacy of Parliament, of the House. Yeah. Here's the thing: the Speaker of the House is a Liberal. And he's going, well, he's not going against them. I mean, he's not there. He's neutral, right?
He's following the laws.
Exactly. He's following the laws demanded by his seat. And let me just say something. In Parliament, it's not Justin Trudeau that's in charge. In Parliament, the most supreme position,
Governor General,
in the Canadian parliamentary structure, is the Speaker of the House.
I thought it's the Governor General that has the supreme power.
No, the Governor General is symbolic. She's the head of state. But when we're talking about the parliamentary system, the way it functions, and how politics are conducted in Parliament, it's the Speaker. He's the top guy. He decides, right?
So the Speaker of the House is also part of the Liberal Party right now. He's a Liberal.
Well, yeah, because he's a member of Parliament. So what
and
happens?
The Liberals are suing him.
So every time there's the new legislature, they pick the Speaker of the House and the Vice Speakers and all that stuff, the Deputy Speakers and all that stuff. And I think he's from the Liberals. And the Liberals came out and said, we're going to challenge your decision. We're going to go to court so we can get a court order to tell you that you cannot table these documents if they're not redacted.
Hold on a second. Hold on. Let's just put on the table here for everyone. You're telling me that the federal government, the liberal government, is trying to muzzle and sue the Speaker of the House, who's also a liberal, in order to protect China? Bro, we fucking... Bro,
we don't know who's protecting what they're protecting. They're claiming that there's very detailed information that has to do with Canada's national security. But the fact is, and this is unprecedented, it's never happened before. The courts have no jurisdiction over what happens in Parliament. Parliament, it functions kind of in its own kind of jurisdiction.
It's above, yeah.
So I don't know if it's above. It's just that I've never seen that. You're going to challenge your own Parliament proceedings with a court order? It's unheard of. I don't understand what the fuck is happening. If that's
not suspicious, George, what is?
Well, yeah. So now, Pablo Rodriguez, who's the leader of the Liberals, he's saying, look, let's get a committee in place. We'll bring people from all parties. We can sit down, look at the document, and we can agree on what should be made public and not public. So they're trying to figure out a formula so that they don't embarrass themselves. But the fact that they even suggested that they're going to go to the courts to counter a decision made by the Speaker of the House when that guy is just doing his job is ridiculous to me.
You made me very angry.
That's nuts, bro.
You made me very angry. These
crazy?
Fucking puppets.
And then you take a second and you're thinking, wait, are we living in Canada, man? Like this is where we've come. This is what we've come to. I've never heard this. I've never in my life heard this. And I've seen bad decisions made by the speakers. But it's always respected because the Speaker of the House.
But this isn't a bad decision. This is, hey, let's take a look at what happened. This is suspicious. This is not a bad decision.
He's actually doing what he has to do.
Yeah.
There's a standing committee that hasn't been getting information because people haven't been delivering documents. He put his foot down and said, you know what? I'm ordering you to give the fucking documents right now. And they're claiming on the name of national security that they can't. Okay. Well, I've just made a decision. And you're going to go to court to challenge that? Like, I don't even know how the courts are even going to look into this.
That's crazy, bro.
Like the courts have
they have no jurisdiction. How are they going to look into it?
What is the judge going to say? Yeah, redact the document or no, it's fine. I mean, the courts are obviously going to say that, look, he's the Speaker of the House. It's his jurisdiction. He can do what he wants. Like, how are the courts going to proceed on this?
How are they going to mandate anything when they don't have the power to? Even if they say redacted, they don't have the power to dictate that.
I don't know. I have no idea. I don't know if there's something between the lines that I don't know or that I didn't read. Crazy, if there's anything that in the name of national security that they could do such a thing. I have no idea.
China might blow us up. Don't rat them out. Yeah, I get it.
But isn't it crazy? It's just completely insane.
That's fucked. Anyways, George, look, if people want more of you, and why wouldn't they? They're going to find you. The links are in the description. George has 2 hit podcasts, the Backstage Podcast, where he interviews politicians, much like the people he spoke about running in local mayoral elections. And if you're not into the politics, get into the Just Us Dads trend. Just Us Dads, the only podcast by moms for dads, out weekly. George and his other fellow dad buddies talk about what it's like having kids in the 21st century. Do you beat them? Do you spank them? Do you yell at them? Do you destroy their confidence? All those may be wrong answers. You could only find out if you watch and listen to Just Us Dads. Links are in the description. Support the show. Share it with your friends. It's fun for dads. It's fun for moms. It's fun for kids. It's fun for uncles. It's fun for creepy uncles. You know, it's fun for everyone. If you like listening to 3 dudes shoot the shit like we're doing here, that's a show for you. Just Us Dads. Links are in the description. Also, Phil, he left early, but check him out. Phil Balabanos has his own podcast, Film My Hole. And also, Phil Balabanos is a filmmaker. You can hire him. Links are in the description. Hire the guy. He does great films. He does great commercials. A little busy right now, but he'll probably squeeze you in a month or so whenever he frees up a bit. Quality stuff. Phil Balabanos, balabanos.com. Links are in the description. You can find Poseidon on Twitch. Twitch.tv/theposeidon69. He plays against a lot of children. He loses often. He yells racial epithets, and he gets banned from a lot of servers. But it's a lot of fun for you to watch him lose his shit. PantelisComedy.com. Follow my stuff. If you are not a patron already, what are you waiting for? We're giving away t-shirts. Patreon.com/Pantelis. Join us there. You get exclusive content. You get stuff first. It's really the place to be. You get access to our Patreon-only Discord channels, which include the movie night. Plus, go to our Discord right now. If you're not on the Discord, check out the links on my website, panteliscomedy.com, or in the description. The Discord is a whole community of the Pantelis Nation. There's people that watch games on there, all the soccer games, the hockey games, they're all being streamed over there. People talk about them. They laugh. There's a couple that came out of there. There's people that fell in love on that Discord. Check out the Pantelis Nation Discord. Thank you all. Have a great day. But most of all, go fuck yourselves.